Hello, everybody. Welcome to another odd-shaped panel. This week, we're doing Doctor Who. Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed?
Thanks, everyone, for coming by. My name's Tom.
And I'm Kimber.
And we run Odd-Shaped Channel, the thing that you're on right now. If you're unfamiliar with any of our content, please check out other stuff when you get a chance. We're running Twin Peaks and Game of Thrones recap right now. We did an American Gods recap. If you haven't checked that out, you can go back and look at that. We do
Mormo show.
Mormo show, the Mormo Zone. Oh my God, plot twist. Dub showed up to the beginning of an episode. Welcome. Speaking of, let's give everyone a shout out real quick in the room. We have Nolan, Morgan, Jack, Billy, Corey, Joe and Ashley, Matt, Kim, Kim Hanley, not her. Tom Zambino. See, we have another. We should have Kim and Tom come on, and it'll be like a dual universe. Like, Doctor Who's all about parallel stuff. Anyway, and Dub and Delisha, I saw in there too. I don't think I wrote it down though, but you are written down now. Eric, I know he's watching.
Mac? Did you say?
I didn't say Mac, but he's on the list right here. It's right next to Kim's Classics.
We're also going to be joined tonight by a special guest who will be calling in first.
But we won't tell you who that is to build suspense. Like, comment, and subscribe who you want to be the guest tonight, and we'll tell you if you're right. Anyway, Doctor Who, why are we doing this now? We've liked Doctor Who for a while. Why?
Well, we're doing this now because they recently announced the casting choice for the 13th Doctor.
I have not heard about this. Go on.
You have Jodie Whittaker. It's been a controversial choice for some, but personally, I'm very excited about it. I wept when I saw the trailer and realized that we are going to have our first Lady Doctor. I think she is a great choice. I'm a big fan of Broadchurch, and I like what she did on there. And, of course, we have the showrunner from Broadchurch coming in, taking over Doctor Who, so it's interesting that he would bring over a trusted actor from his show.
Yeah, it was weird. We were watching Game of Thrones, and Theodis was on it. And it was just like, you can just do this for now on. Just do cameos. Don't bother with the show running for now, unless it's Sherlock. Take a break. Everyone needs a break once in a while.
Who, Mark Gatiss?
Yeah.
It's Stephen Moffat who's show running Doctor.
Right now?
Yeah.
Man, I can't keep anything straight.
I wish Mark Gatiss was, though, because I love Sherlock.
So Mark Gatiss was responsible,
Sherlock.
But he didn't do any Doctor Who?
He's like written a couple episodes, and he was
I
also
thought
in
he
an
show
episode.
ran for a season or two.
No.
I can't keep stuff straight, guys. But if you've seen this channel, you know I'm horrible at this. So welcome if you don't know that. All right. Well, either way, we're getting new blood.
I'm also going to be announcing another show that we have coming to Odd Shaped Channel in the very near future, and it's actually my show. So I'm going to have an awesome co-host, and they will be calling in tonight, and when they do, we will announce said show. So we're looking forward to that.
When are you going to tell me about this? I want to be in the show.
You already know this.
Your show? When do I get? Well, you know what? Maybe I'll make my own show with Corey.
Actually, we have a few minutes. Did you want to just do that announcement and get that person in really quick? We have 8 minutes.
Hey, person who
Well, it's gonna just give them a ring, and if they answer, we'll see if we can do that real quick.
This is not the surprise guest. Don't get your hopes up. Surprise guest because we told everyone.
Yeah, this is the show announcement before surprise guest.
Oh, hi, Mormo.
Hey, Mormo.
There's our buddy. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was doing a thing.
I almost whispered in your ear who it was.
I think someone complimented my shirt. Maybe Jack. Thank you. You guys, Tom Baker.
Yeah, I wish.
Is not coming here.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, who's this?
Oh, hello there. Hello.
So, as you guys can see, it's Nolan is going to be my co-host on our upcoming show. Did you want to tell them what it's called and what it's going to be about?
I'm so excited for this, and I'm really glad that we can announce it now. Me and Kimber are going to be doing a Doctor Who recap show called Space Time Rewind.
Yeah.
Trademarked.
I am excited about it as well. Nolan will be my companion as we talk about next season. We're probably going to be launching off with the Christmas special, and then we do have quite a wait. He was sending me an article that they announced that it's going to be about a year away from the 13th Doctor season starting. And so in the meantime, we're probably going to do some episodes recapping the best of each Doctor, maybe our favorite episodes, stuff like that. So if you have any ideas of episodes that are Doctor Who related and subject matter you guys would like to talk about, then let us know in the chat, or you can tweet me at Kimberbatch_OSP or Nolan at NolanDean27, and we'll talk some Who. I'm excited.
People are excited about the show in the chat. Kim Hanley likes the sound of the name. I remember we brainstormed. Was it Nolan or you who came up with that? Either way,
I think
it was
that
good.
one was mine. Yeah.
Dub also has included the tag "I love Lamp," so he might just be agreeing with everyone. We don't know. Man, I missed Dub. Glad he's back. Checking up with the chat, but yeah, that's great news, guys. Congratulations on your new show.
Thanks.
Christmas. That's a Christmas present for everybody.
Can we wear bow ties?
Oh, I plan to. I already talked to Tom about this.
I've heard rumors that they're cool. So, but if you have a bow tie, you also have to have a fez and a mop. That's the rules.
I have a sonic screwdriver, so I can make up for that.
Well, Nolan, we'll get more into the Doctor Who-ness of I don't know. You take this segue.
We're going to let you go for now, Nolan, and we are going to have that special guest calling in for a minute, and then we'll probably have you right after them.
No worries. There's a weeping angel in my room I'm going to take care of anyway. So,
well, don't
be careful and don't blink.
Don't blink. I want to help Nolan out. Did I get him? Made out of wood?
I like this one.
River Song one?
Yeah.
Tell us in the chat, which one's your favorite screwdriver? While we're,
that's a good question.
By the way, we have 17 viewers right now. Thank you so much. If you're not in the chat and you want to get in on this conversation, I mean, I'll say your name on the air. I'm shameless.
Why don't you go ahead and send an invite to our guest and...
Is it time? We still have...
I don't think that,
I don't know. I don't know if we can... It might be a fixed point in time, babe. I'm scared. I'm scared. Chat is going crazy, and people are talking about Toxic and...
OJ and Grey Goose.
I'm glad I took a second to not say this out loud.
Phillips head screwdriver, Joe says. See what you did there.
Penicillin.
Such spice.
All right. Invite is out. So we just sent an invite to somebody you might know. Her name's Roth Carnett. She's the editor-in-chief at Screen Junkies News, host and producer of Girls on Film, and I'm sure many other things that I did not have the time to look up. But that does not mean I do not care, because I do. But hopefully she'll be getting the call soon. If not, I might have to send another one. We all know how Google can be.
Yeah, so in the meantime, in the chat, why don't you guys just tell us who your favorite Doctor is? Because we're not going to be asking that question tonight, so I'm just curious what you think. Mine is Matt Smith. I am an 11 girl.
I am a 10. There's something about Nine's face. I really like the War Doctor, too. We didn't get too much with him, but I liked... the fact that he wasn't a doctor. I don't know. It kind of screws up the whole order, but it's fine. Whatever.
We got Matthew Whitaker and Jack are both showing love for Tom Baker.
No surprise there. I know Billy loves Tennant.
David Tennant, yep. Also, John Pertwee for Matthew Whitaker.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you guys? I'm so sorry. It's completely dark in here, and my internet is really poor, but I'm happy to join you.
Well,
awesome. Welcome. We're glad to have you.
You made it, and the chat is thrilled that you are here also.
Hi.
They're freaking out.
Can you guys, I'm so sorry. I feel like Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, so we might as well get right into these questions. Our buddy Nolan at Nolan Dean 27, he asked, who is Doctor Who, monster or villain?
I feel like I have such basic answers to all of these, which is, I think it's all in how you use them, like the Daleks, right? So you would think, I feel like most people, the moment that you're introduced to them, you think, oh, this is sort of cheesy, you know? But then as it evolves over time and the different ways they've been able to use them on the show, it's so heartbreaking. Like when we were first introduced to Clara, right? And they've been able to, I think, update them so that they are the iconic, like the number one, the best. But I'm a new series watcher, so I have a big affinity for the Weeping Angels. I thought the Silence was a really creepy idea. But to me, and the Cybermen, if you think about even just is everybody caught up, right? Everybody's caught up, right?
You're good for spoilers. Go for it.
Okay, so the Cybermen, if you think about the use of the Cybermen, even just with Bill, like in this last series, my God, you didn't think that they could rip your heart out any more than they already had with Danny, but they managed to do it. But for me, it's like there's no Sherlock without Moriarty. There is no Doctor without the Master. So to me, the Master is the one because they have the most intricate relationship. And God, I loved Missy. And Master on Master action. Did you guys love that?
We actually are catching up on it. We really were not happy with the season before the last season, so we kind of fell off. And
Okay.
we heard better things. Our buddy Nolan, the one who asked this question, he's getting our hopes back up. But the season beforehand kind of really hurt. We hated Clara at the end there.
I do love Misty. And just seeing even pictures with her and John Sim, like that gets my heart racing. It's very exciting. And I liked what you said about the Cybermen too, because I really loved the episode they did with, I think his name is Craig, the character, but the Lodger, when they were putting him in like the Cyberman suit and he was breaking free with his will to, you know, protect his son and everything. Yeah, I loved that whole thing they did with the Cybermen. I feel like the Cybermen almost got the most
but at the same time, I know you hated the episode. I liked Mr. Clever as an idea because I love like parallel universes of main characters. Like that was also a poor episode for the Cybermen because they were like running around and it was weird. Like the way they used them was not good. And also Neil, so not great, but yeah, you're definitely right. It's all the way you use them. Yours is definitely the Weeping Angels, right?
Weeping Angels and Daleks. I have such an affection for Daleks because they're so corny and they haven't changed since the beginning of the show. The voice is so iconic. I just love everything about them, and they're full of sass.
They
for
are
being like such an emotional. Boys, yeah, I love it. I even love when the Cybermen and the Daleks were like sassing at each other in that one episode with 10.
The only thing you're better at is dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're the opposite because the Cybermen are emotionless, and then the Daleks are just pure rage and hate. You know, they're like the 28 Days Later zombies.
I like the polite versions of the Daleks, the antibodies and the
yeah.
But I was gonna say, I think one of the best villains, even though she may not have been a villain for long, was River. She got the job done. So many people have.
I guess you could think of River kind of as like she was a villain for a hot minute. Yeah.
Yeah, but then she got redeemed because she could fly the TARDIS, and once you do that, that changes you. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well. One of our BFFs, Ashley, she asks us, which companion deserves a spinoff?
I feel like, and I don't know if you guys aren't caught up, but I loved Bill this season, and I didn't think that we got enough of her at all. And now it feels like usually the companion is the bridge, and it doesn't feel like she's going to be. So I would love to see more Bill in any way that I can. Donna's another one that I would love to see return, and so I mean it can't. I don't know how. It's Doctor Who, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, somehow. But I think Bill, we just didn't get enough of her.
It'd be interesting if like the show is based.
Mavis.
why I have nice things. If it was based around like maybe her like doing like a memento thing, like remembering the adventures and stuff like that. Maybe like the show is like old adventures they had that we don't remember. I don't know. That'd be classic. I love Donna though.
Donna would have been great because you get Wilf, and who doesn't love Wilf?
Wilf's the best.
I love your cat. That's just a side note.
Maybe
Yeah. Your cat is amazing.
We use her as a marketing ploy always.
Did you that one?
See, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty happy not knowing, like, because the whole like thing. Because I love the Ponds, and more like specifically, I love Rory. And I wish there were more male companions. Not that I don't love the female companions. I just think that it's like a dynamic, like you said with the Lodger. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that's not going to happen next series, but you know, if they ever go back to the whatever they want to do, but you know what I mean. So I don't know. That's hard. I'm kind of happy with. I mean, I want to know what Rose is up to. Like that's my biggest thing is I want to know if Rose is okay.
Yeah.
I love Rose.
Yeah.
She's just that's it. I'm gonna get again teary.
I just love Rory the most, so I have to pick him. He's like by far my favorite of the companions, and
he's great.
And yeah, it would be cool to have Amy too and stuff, but I'm mostly interested in the Rory aspect. I just really love him and I miss him a lot.
Like, would you want to see them like living their life where they got dropped off back in?
I don't know. I'd almost want to see them like
what they're doing when the doctor's gone.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I kind of feel like my imagination is filling in the blanks for me about what they're up to now. They had such a beautiful end to their storyline, and we had a lot of time with them too, versus like some of the companions. It felt like we didn't get enough time with them. Oh wow, you're seeing my entire wall of madness too behind me.
I have a crazy wall too.
It's like my idea wall.
I dig it. That's what's up.
Another character that would have been interesting, who again kind of became a villain for a hot second, but not long, was Macy Williams' character, Sheila.
Yes.
That would be cool for like a. I mean, but it would probably feel very Game of Thrones meets Highlander.
Yeah.
Which I mean, kind of sounds cool.
I mean, also like River is great. Obviously, is up to a lot of things when she's not with the doctor.
She doesn't look a day older.
She's gorgeous. But I would watch a River show in a heartbeat.
There's so many good ones. I'm sure we're getting a lot of classic people being brought up in the chat, but
I know that Jack is going to be talking about Classic Who today for sure. I know they'll be out.
Affirmative. All right.
I also feel like it could be fun if they got a little more weird with the companions. But we'll talk about that. Like they get, they've been human companions for the most part, not all, but they mix it up here and there. But we could get a little weirder with it, I think.
I completely agree. I feel like they have so many resources and alien species at their like disposal, but they don't use them.
It's just like Vastra and Strax.
Like the ones that they end up teaming up with are like the goofy cactus people, like, and like I mean, Drax gets tired a little bit, especially when you have another cooler Drax out there somewhere in the universe.
I think it's Strax.
Oh, Strax? Well, see, this is what I can't even pronounce this. I'm horrible at this.
All right, so Billy at Buster Bill asked us, what is your favorite storyline from any series of Doctor Who?
Yeah, and again, I feel like I have the really obvious answers to that, where it's like Blink is the one. Blink or Midnight are the two episodes that I say you can watch those and not have seen the show and just see if you like the vibe. So I do love those. I also love The Doctor's Wife because I'm such a Neil Gaiman fan. And I thought it was a great one. And The Day of the Doctor, like that was such an amazing spectacle to behold. But a smaller one that I actually really like is The Girl Who Waited. It's a very simple bottle episode that I think really fulfilled that idea that kept playing out about Amy. And it broke something in her and their relationship in a way that I thought was incredibly powerful. So I love that one. And people I don't see talking about that one as much.
Yeah, no, I think that episode is beautiful. I'm a big fan of that one for sure.
Especially what they establish young Amelia then to have her come back Angorica, which is another great storyline, and have them remember how they involved her
Yeah.
in the whole thing.
The girl who waited. You're talking about
Wait,
the two
am I-
time streams one, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Am I
Mhm.
getting the,
Yeah. This is the two time streams one, and Amy gets old.
Yes.
oh
Yeah.
oh my god,
Remember,
that's
there's
so
stuff.
I
She waits.
great.
She waits, I think, like 36 years, and she gets really old. And he said, "I'll come back," and she's just waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is heart wrenching. Like, if you don't
Roar-
misstep a little bit at the end of that one, I don't know.
And
You
Rory
have
just
no
is like, I'll take both of you. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, you feel for Rory there. Like, how do you choose? It's crazy. That is a great
And
episode.
he looks cute in glasses. Just
He
throwing
looks
that out
better
there.
in a ponytail.
No.
So my pick for this was The Lodge. I think that Doctor Who has many villains and many threats to his existence, but I think the only thing he's really scared of more than anything else is himself. And this was really kind of showcased in this, especially with like the room number being 11 and 2 is Matt Smith. And the stuff they did with the Minotaur was really cool. And I work in a hotel. I've always worked in a hotel. I do a lot of hospitality stuff. So it was really cool to, I don't know, get like a weird mythological shining thriller episode. As Joe points out all the time, Doctor Who is just a psychological thriller. So
Yeah.
there's evidence to that.
It's a good one. Yeah, I guess I'm going to be the basic one this time, and I'm going to go with the River Song storyline and Demon's Run.
Oh, yeah.
That's by far my favorite season of the show. I just loved, like, it's really hard to have a mysterious character who gets more interesting the more you find out about them. And I think River successfully did that. I'm a huge fan of her, and I hope she pops up for all time during every Doctor because she can do that with her story. And as we talked about, she looks amazing. But I just loved her story so much, and I thought it was so well written and had so much heart that season.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, please, you go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask you, did the face of Bo show up last season? Because I missed that guy.
No, and I do too.
What? Like, I want to see,
unless
because-
I'm just not remembering. I would have remembered that the face of Bo did not show up last season. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong.
Blue Viserys teased that like so long ago that Jack Harkness would end up being the face of Bo, and I want to see that transition somewhere.
Yeah. I would love. First of all, I just want more of Jack all the time. But yeah, that seemed like a story thread but that's the thing about Who, that could get picked up at any time, and we would love it.
Yeah. You're getting some love in the chat from Janine. She
Yeah, I
likes
saw
how
that.
your lipstick matches your hair.
And I'm in this like darkened room of like mad science,
The right place to be to
which
talk
is
about Doctor.
AKA my office.
Nice.
I feel like you're secretly Batman's Oracle.
These are the
Running
things.
time off.
I'll give you a hint of what I have on my desk. This is what I have. Just one of the things I have. Oh, this is a Khaleesi. I'm so sorry. And she's riding the Xenomorph.
Where
This is
are
what sits on my desk.
Nice.
we have that Danny, and we also have the Danny riding Drogon.
Oh yeah.
Like the they have
Yeah.
made.
I like to create my own fan fiction. I also have Tinkerbell on Joffrey's crown.
Nice.
Still better than Prometheus.
Yeah. What do you think of Alien Covenant?
We didn't see it yet. We've only heard bad things.
Yes. Well, in any event, Doctor Who. Doctor Who is exciting though.
Yeah, so we just have one more question for you today. And what character would have made a great companion if they were given the chance?
So this is my question for us. Are we considering Vestra and Jenny companions or not? I'm a little unclear about they're quasi companions, right?
Like they're allies for
Yeah.
sure. I would argue like they would have to adventure with them at least half a season. So
Exactly.
I
So
don't think they would give up their station where they are.
Yeah.
They are.
yeah, but that's who I want. Like I love them.
The tongue.
Yeah, I think they're great. I love how this show doesn't bat an eye at weird relationships. Like, they're not afraid of anything on this. And I love how embraced Vestra and Jenny were to not only have, like, an interspecies relationship, but also a gay relationship. And it's so heartfelt. Like, I believe that these two love each other, and it's a really great story.
I agree. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
The episode where everything was going bad for Matt Smith. And like people were like, I think Strax forgot him, and like a bunch of other stuff happened. I think I saw that season once.
Yeah, I think
there was like involved, or they fought each other, right? Because they didn't recognize each other. I'm having emotions right now because I'm remembering this flashbacks. Yeah, that was upsetting. I didn't.
No, I'm sorry. It's totally the internet that's just cutting in and out. So I apologize. But yeah, I feel like they, to me, represent so much of what's great about this series and the underlying message of the series that's just so broad and embracing and egalitarian. And it's a show that is exploring like what is alike about all beings, you know, even the beings that on the surface. I love how compassionate he is towards even what are monsters, you know, to us. Like, that's, to me, the message of Doctor Who, top to bottom, like the best part of the show. Besides, like, that we do get weird monsters.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's definitely, like, showcased recently with, like, the Zygons and how, like, they were able to, like, he was able to figure out, like, an alliance in them.
Yeah. Agreed. So, like, to me, those two being together in their love and like just celebrating their love. So I just think they're really fun characters and they have a funny relationship. But they would be great companions.
Yeah, I agree. Did you have a choice?
So I think I decided on a fun answer for this, and I went with Rory's dad. Like, he got to go on one adventure, but I think after like Rory and Amy disappeared, it would have been cute if he stuck along with the doctor to kind of find out what his son had been doing his whole life. Or not his whole life, but like recently. And then to get a sonic trowel.
Yeah, a little trowel.
Trowel,
Yes.
yeah. I want him to get a sonic trowel, and then he could have his own spin-off later. We'll go back to that question.
Nice. Yeah, my choice is Danny Pink. I thought they were up to be a companion. And I thought that he had like a really interesting dynamic with the doctor and that it could have been good for both of them. And then I was kind of deflated when it went the direction that it did. I liked Danny. I would have liked to see that a lot. And I feel like I'm not the only person who feels that way. So for me, 100% Danny Pink is my choice for this one.
Yeah. Would it be cool to see Danny be a companion in that mode he was, where he was sort of like becoming a Cyberman, but then what if they are able to pause it right in that mode?
Like a 7 of 9 kind of thing, where he's not like a fully confused board.
Yes. Yes.
That'd be kind of cool. And then like he can have like a weird relationship with Handles.
Yes. That would be awesome.
All right, we're writing it right now. We're
it writes itself. All right, Roth, it's been a pleasure talking to you. And did you want to let everybody know where they can see you and what you're working on?
Sure. You can find me on Twitter at Roth Cornett or at Screen Junkies News pretty much every day talking about crazy stuff. You guys let me know what you guys want us to talk about and we'll do it. Thank you guys. This was so much fun to talk about Doctor Who, and sorry for my weird internet lag.
It was totally fine.
We've dealt with much worse, trust me. But thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you on the internet, I guess.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Well, that was great. Thanks again to Roth for coming by, and thanks for Del and Janine contacting her. I know they got her to follow this train, and we appreciate it. Hey, that's awesome. I see a bunch of people in the chat. Oh, hey, Digital and Dice, how's it going? I'm sorry if I haven't shouted anybody out in a while.
We're going to get Nolan in next. I know it's very late for him and Morgan, so we're going to try to get those guys in ASAP. I know Morgan is only answering a question.
Yes,
but,
and the question is, who's cooler, Tom or Kimber? Find out the answer when Morgan comes up.
I know the answer.
I know the answer is going to be you two.
The one with the giant portrait
You
of
you
the
got the fan club. We all know this.
staff.
There's no Tom fan club. Jack, back me up here.
I'm the people's champ.
People's
That's
champ.
what Jack said.
This is why I need Mavis to agree with me. If you,
Mavis got some love from Roth. That's
yeah,
good.
that's cute. Mavis, you're loved. Oh,
Yeah, she's
oh
very
shit!
nice,
Digital
though.
Injustice Fruit Tom fan club.
What?
Oh no,
Traitor!
traitor! Hey Nolan, how's it going?
Well, where am I? I feel like I've got new everything. Oh, what's this?
Did you change your shirt? Oh, you got bow tie. I'm like, something's different. I can't figure it out.
Bow ties are in fact cool.
Yes, they are. Nolan, man, how excited are you for this, man?
Dude, I've been so psyched that I've drank 5 cups of tea waiting for it. It had to be tea because, you know, Doctor Who's British and all.
Well, I'm going to read these questions as slow as possible
Okay,
and see if
fantastic.
you fall asleep going. Okay. At Nolan Dean 27 asked.
Oh my god,
I
hate that guy so much.
I know he's a jerk.
I like them.
Who don't? This is Nolan's moment, not that guy's. Who or what is the best Doctor Who monster or villain?
Obviously, it's the Slitheen. I'm just kidding.
Ugh! I just burped in my mouth and it tasted like.
So we'll be finding a new co-host.
New co-host, everyone. Send your applications in.
I'm just joking. Well, you know, Roth already mentioned it, but I'm going with it's a specific version of the character, and for a lot of reasons, especially with what Doctor Who does with its writing, like it always takes a jab at things that are going on at the same time. And John Sims' Master is not only a charismatic, fun villain and a really great companion piece to Tennant's Doctor and that. And he's got a lot of emotional beats, but he's also kind of a jab at Tony Blair, because there's one episode where he's the Prime Minister, and that's clearly taking the piss out of that. And I love that Doctor Who can do that without going into like on the nose territory and still make it feel kind of fun. And John Sim he absolutely kills the role. Like he's charismatic and he's evil, but he's not like cartoony about it.
Yeah, that was my problem with like the Ninth Doctor's master. He was very much like he felt like a Flash Gordon villain. He didn't feel like a Doctor Who villain. And there might not be much of a difference between those shows, but there is. I know, but that master definitely gave Ming vibes, even though he didn't have the Fu Manchu. He still had, I don't know, something about his eyebrows. All right, that's a good answer. Ashley asked, what companion deserves a spinoff?
No, this was also really tricky because, like, I always feel the companions get their perfect arc whenever we're on the show, and you guys know this. I've been talking about it for a while, but I've recently come around on Rose Tyler. Like, I've kind of realized that she kind of helped fix the Doctor, and the Doctor kind of helped fix her. And I would love to just see, like, even if it's like a mini series or something like that, just what happened to her. Like, maybe she's seen stuff that the Doctor's done, or she's like, yeah, I used to do that kind of thing. And a way to take a show that's just in the Doctor Who universe but doesn't have the Doctor and watch Class, and that does that kind of concept really well. And Billie Piper's still working today, so I reckon she could come back and do that.
I just want Rose to be okay. I want to know Rose is okay.
I'm sure she would be.
Buddy Billy at B-Buster Bill asked, what is your favorite storyline from any Doctor Who?
Well, since it's Billy, I'm just going to confirm in the chat, yes, this is a Superman bow tie. Storyline from Doctor Who is it's one episode, but it made me want to watch like the rest of it when I first started Doctor Who, and that's when Christopher Eccleston first meets a Dalek, because the genius writing of this, it makes you feel empathy for a killing machine, because like the whole concept of the Daleks to me is terrifying. They're literally created to kill people, and they're trapped inside a shell their whole lives, and writing can make you feel for that kind of monster and kind of have an emotional element. And Rose was a part of that. That's just genius, and the way they pulled it off in that was just phenomenal to me.
Yeah, and I didn't see the Bad Wolf stuff coming at all. I just thought I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. It's almost like it kind of like when I saw the cracks in the Matt Smith season. Like I knew they would lead up to a bigger event eventually, like they were breadcrumbs. But like, when the Bad Wolf stuff, I just thought was just like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's just a term used a lot in this universe, and for it to actually have a payoff in that way was awesome.
Yeah, the Bad Wolf stuff to me was really unexpected as well. But you rewatch that storyline now through fresh eyes, and it gives you like a new perspective on it. Like I didn't expect to completely change my opinion on Rose Tyler, but it did.
Yeah, I agree. All right, and we got one more. What character would have made a great companion if given the chance?
Well, I'm gonna try and keep it relatively spoiler free, but of their relationship so much, I think it would be really fun if for a couple of episodes that the Master becomes a companion. And I've thought about how they could do this for ages. I'm thinking maybe he comes on disguised as a companion and you don't know it's the Master until the very end, or you could have the Master try to redeem himself and then, you know, circumstances happen and he goes back to his evil ways because, you know, the Doctor and the Master are like Sherlock and Moriarty. They kind of need each other, and I don't want them to ever kill off. They need each other.
That is the weirdest thing that's ever happened.
Your audio is just getting lower and lower by the second.
Oh, did you catch what I said last?
No,
Some
it was
of
like
it.
spooky. I'm stepping away. I'll let Kimber deal with this madness.
Where did it end? I can just go back.
You just trailed off. It was weird.
It just started doing this weird thing, and it totally threw me off of what you were even saying. I was just like, am I stroking out right now?
I'm going to blame the weeping angel that's in my room.
Yeah, so just go like a sentence or two back and continue.
Okay, well, what I was saying was like, if the Master got a chance to be a companion, you could do it one or two ways. He could be like someone regular who poses as a companion, and then you find out that he's actually the Master, or they could give the Master a chance to become good and see where that takes their relationship, because enemies can get a little stale, but if you saw them genuinely work together to save people and then maybe have the Master be tempted by stuff because he is a little crazy, I think new, unexpected, dark ways, and with the Broadchurch screenwriter, I reckon they could definitely do that.
I like the idea of having the Master come on as a companion and then having it revealed later that they've been the Master the whole time. That feels very Doctor Who to me. Like you just have this companion and then they have like a moment where they're like, a Scooby-Doo moment where they're like, ta-da, I'm actually the Master,
Or
you know?
another Time Lord, and he's like, we have to save Gallifrey, because why haven't they gone back to Gallifrey?
Or they just get hurt and then he's forced to regenerate and you realize it's the Master. I think, yeah, that would be cool. I'm into it.
Yeah, I did write that when I wrote Doctor Who episodes in high school. Like, it's terrible when I look at it now, but the idea is still there.
That'd be a video series I watched. Nolan's old fan fiction.
Nolan's old fan fictions. He says he would watch this. So was that the last question?
That was all of them.
All right. So did you have anything you wanted to plug? I know you're usually working on stuff.
Well, as always, we had some last movies and media episodes with Joe and Ashley Davis talking To Kill a Mockingbird and The Big Lebowski. Those are really fun. And to my channel recently, I just got loads of new subscribers because I've been doing video essays, and I am working on a Doctor Who related one soon, and happen for sure, but I'm planning to shoot my first short film when I go back to the UK, and it's going to be about Doctor Who, so look out for that. And as always, follow me at NolanDean27, and I can't wait to be hosting this show with you, buddy. It's going to be awesome. Yeah,
you want to tell them one more time in case we have any callers now that missed the announcement before, what we're going to be working on?
Yeah, of course. If you guys missed it, me and Kimber are going to be doing a recap show called Spacetime Rewind, all about Doctor Who. So that's going to be extremely fun, and I'm glad that I'm going to be able to do this show because you can have a little bit of Britishness to it as well. It'll be a really nice little thing there.
Yeah, that's why we have Morgan calling the Game of Thrones. Bad, we can make fun of him. Then.
Well, we're actually going to be giving Morgan a call
No,
here.
he left.
Oh, he left?
He's
Aw,
gone.
boo,
Morgan's
Morgan, boo.
Let's
So I
talk
don't know.
trash about Morgan in the chat. I want to see ones for everyone who's mad at Morgan
Boo
right now.
this man. Shame Bell.
Morgan's
Wait, are we
actually
saying-
a master.
Right?
Oh,
We'll find out in a couple weeks when he's here to visit. But we will see you soon, Nolan. We got to get on to these callers because the room is actually popping right now.
popping. Ah! All right.
Bye, Nolan. See you soon. Good night.
Bye, guys. Night.
All right. Next is Jack. Jack, are you ready? Jack's even saying, "Plug your show one more time."
Always.
Oh, we didn't get any ones. We got "We Love You, Morgan."
Pop, pop.
Oh, man, a lot of activity in the chat. Thank you, guys. It's hard to keep up. I'm not going to read that because Jack's going to be on in a second. Excuse me.
Mavis, what are you doing? Adventuring?
Mavis, you want to say hi to Jack? It's been a while since Mavis has been on camera. Hey, Yosef, how's it going? Yosef? Yosef.
You put him on the list, right?
He's on the list. And
Hey,
it's not
Russ,
the
come on
bad
now.
list. Okay, so we use Mavis's scratching post as a stand for our laptop sometimes. And she does not like that. Oh, wait, hold on. I have to put you on the camera. How's it going, Jack?
Oh, he's
Nope.
muted.
Oh, we can't hear you.
I'm not muted anymore. Oh, you missed all of that? Wait a minute.
Oh,
All right, we're doing it again.
Oh.
All right, anyway, you get the idea.
We just lost 2 viewers. Thanks, Jack. I'm
Everybody,
kidding.
you got it. I kill shows. Roth brings him in. Jack's not. Kicks him out.
Oh, he's just a closer, man. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
right.
Anyway.
Hey guys,
That's gonna be awesome because you are a classic Who fan, right?
I'm a new fan too, but yeah, I'm way more classic. I've been watching Doctor Who since 1982. I started in the Tom Baker years, and back when I was a kid, PBS, our local PBS station, would run every single Friday and Saturday, would run Doctor Who episodes. And then when they would get to the end of what they currently had, they'd start all the way back at the beginning with An Earthly Child, and then show every single episode all the way up to the new stuff that they would get. And if they ran out of episodes, they'd start back at the beginning and they do it again. So
that was me as a kid with Dragon Ball Z.
yeah, so I watched the whole series of Doctor Who multiple times from start to finish every single weekend. That's what I did because I had no life and I really like Doctor Who. Nice. There's my man, Tom Baker.
Yeah, I actually have some cool old VHS of Doctor Who with Tom Baker as well.
I do too. Oh, I like the Deadly Assassin. I also have it'll take me too long to grab them, but I have the whole classic series. I have Period of Mars, Terror of the Zygons is a great episode.
Brain of Morbius.
The Brain of Morbius.
Yeah. Period of Mars was Sarah Jane Smith episode that's really one of my favorites. So yeah, I've got I love Tom Baker era was the one that got me into it. I found Tom Baker to be fascinating and interesting, and a friend turned me on to the show and I was hooked. I just thought it was so weird and interesting, and then it just snowballed. It was fascinating. So yeah, I've been watching Doctor Who forever.
Also, so shout out to my brother who also loves Tom Baker. I bought him one of those really long Tom Baker scarves, and
Nice.
he like wears it when he parkours.
Nice.
It's ridiculous.
Camera's wibbly wobbly.
Oh no, wibbly wobbly camera. All right, well let's get into these questions.
Let's do it. I hate you, Nolan.
Well, he asked, who or what is the best Doctor Who monster or villain?
So I'm calling it because he picked mine, and I'm echoing. Is that my fault, or did you hear that? You
No,
mean-
it was only for a split second. You're good.
Okay. So I originally wanted to do, because I'm doing classic, I was going to do Fu Manchu Master, the original Master. However, since the Master's been pretty much thrown around, I'm going to pick something you guys may or may not have heard of, and I'm going with Omega, who is a Time Lord from The Three Doctors, which is one of my favorite episodes ever, where William Hartnell John Pertwee, and Patrick Troutman, the first three Doctors, all came together. And Omega is the story of a Time Lord who created the supernova that powers time travel for the Gallifreyans. And when he created the supernova, he got trapped in it, and everybody thought he was dead. But he was actually sent into this antimatter space that he keeps functioning with his will alone. And he wants revenge on the Time Lords because he feels that they abandoned him when really they thought he was dead. So he starts from this antimatter space, sucking the power out of Gallifrey through the supernova. He's sucking all their energy, and it's destroying Gallifrey. And so in a last-ditch effort, Gallifrey decides to send 3 Doctors in because one wasn't enough. And so they send Patrick Troutman to it was John Pertwee's year, and Patrick Troutman comes at first. And then William Hartnell, interestingly, was too sick to do the role. So he advises every so often from the little view screen in the TARDIS. So it's really Patrick Troutman and John Pertwee. But Omega is a fantastic villain. He was really larger than life, had sort of a Shakespearean presence to him. And he just had the one episode. Actually, they do a callback to him in another episode later on, but that was his big one. And so I'll go with Omega.
It sounds like he has the same origin story as Morph from X-Men the Animated Series.
Maybe Morph from the X-Men Animated Series has the same origin story as...
No, but you're getting some love from Corey in the chat. He's excited, and it definitely sounds like some, as you said earlier, wibbly wobbly.
Timey-wimey. Yeah, it's really neat how they defeat him. They use the John Pertwee's or Patrick Troutman's Doctor had a recorder that he would play, like a little recorder all the time. It was like his big thing. And Omega dropped it. I forget how it happened, but the recorder gets stuck in this little thing, and because it's still in real space and they're in antimatter space, if you remove the recorder, antimatter and real matter can't exist in the same space, and so there's a big explosion, and that's how they kind of propel themselves out of the thing, and they close the wormhole or loophole in whatever they're doing, and that's how they defeat Omega, basically.
The loophole, I like that.
Yeah. So Omega is my favorite villain.
Yeah, that's awesome, and definitely no one else is going to say that. This camera is not.
No, they are not. No one's taking that deep dive.
All right. Well, actually, one of our BFFs asked, which companion deserves a spinoff?
I'm glad no one has gotten a chance to say this yet. So my favorite companion ever is Romana 2 Lalla Ward. And she's a Time Lord. And I think it would have been fantastic for her to have her own series. In fact, that's the female Time Lord I believe we've always should have had. I think that a female-led series could have been a Romana series from the beginning. What's great about the Romana character is she was a companion because she traveled with the Doctor, and she was only there for a short period of time, but she was as smart as the Doctor. She had a regeneration period too. She didn't actually start as Lalla Ward. Michael knows who the other person is, but she eventually, after they do the Key to Time series, she gets to regenerate, and Lalla Ward takes over, and she was always keeping him on his toes. And there were times when the Doctor was doing his sort of like eccentric, sort of crazy, hey, here, would you like a jelly baby? And meanwhile, Romana too is like, no, we got to focus on this. Like, we have to do this thing. This is how we get out of this situation. And he was sort of along for the ride, and he was really the companion to her. And it was the first time you really saw a strong female lead who could keep, who had the intellect that the Doctor had, and was often like the real reason that the problems were solved in the episodes. So I would have loved to have seen a Lalla Ward companion show that became a real thing, and people follow her, and they become her companions, and she's the one who goes on the adventures.
So I'm not familiar with the character, but when you saw Donna all like Dr. Donna, did that kind of feel like the same? Because she felt very serious in that moment, even though she was a little loopy.
Donna Noble?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I liked, Donna, they've kind of had more intelligent companions, which I think is a nice callback in this new series. I think that the companions aren't quite as, what's happening now, Doctor? Oh, Doctor, what's that? Like, that was a really big thing back in old school too, except for Romana. And now I think the companions can kind of hold their own, and they're not afraid to like figure things out on their own. And I liked that about Donna. Donna struck me. I didn't like Donna like the first couple episodes because I didn't know how to take her, but then like she grows on you. And I think that's the beauty of the acting in that case, because like I think that's what the character was supposed to do. The character is supposed to grow on you. You're supposed to like Donna Noble, and you're just like, God, I really hated you, but now if you weren't here, I'd be sad.
What's funny is like the actress who plays her, like literally knows nothing about Doctor Who. So I think it kind of translates into her character that she's not impressed, and I really like that about her.
Yeah, yeah. It's like all this stuff that's making fans giggle right now means nothing to me. You know, that's how Donna kind of takes it. And she's fantastic. So, you know, that brings me to Jodie Whittaker real quick. So I'm going to throw in a quick thing about Jodie. I think that it's fine that they're doing it, but I think that it's a shame that Missy exists because we have to see if fans will take a Time Lord that can go from a man to a woman, and we'll see if she tests well, and if it works, we'll have the courage to maybe have a female doctor. And I think the sad thing is Missy would have been a fantastic actress to play the Doctor. If I mean, I love Peter Capaldi, he's fantastic, but I really think that Missy was a missed opportunity, no pun intended. She should have been the Doctor instead of Capaldi, and Capaldi should have been the Master, because the Master works best as an older man who has that intelligent, you know, that like Peter Capaldi can play a villain. He's got that vibe about him, and I think Missy sold it as a strong female lead, and I think that that's what. So while it's great that, you know, we're getting a female Doctor Who and it's fantastic, I think though that they didn't have the courage they should have had sooner. They had the opportunity right in front of them and they didn't take it. It's kind of like Mary Jane and Spider-Man. It's like, oh, well, we don't have the courage to tell you Mary Jane is Mary Jane until the end of the movie, you know, so we won't get flack for it. It's the same kind of thing for Doctor Who. So I applaud the decision to have a female doctor. I think it's great, but, you know, there you go.
I see what you're saying, and that's interesting, particularly considering Capaldi as the Master is appealing to me. But I like Missy as a bad guy. I don't know if I would have traded her from that position. It's well established that they could be women, because they talked about when Matt Smith was on about the Corsair sometimes changing into a woman and whatnot. My biggest wish is I like Jodie Whittaker, and I think she's going to probably do a great job. But I wish it was somebody older. I wish it was like a Helen Mirren type actress.
Or Tilda.
Tilda, I would have liked to. Obviously, she's very famous, so that's like dream casting. But I would have liked like an older woman who could be like stern, strict, and it's also kind of like an easier transition from Capaldi to like I would want like a female Capaldi, you know?
Well, I think that the
like
Doctor. That. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine. I was just saying because we've been. Especially when Day of the Doctor, when the War Doctor is like, what's wrong with being old? Like, I like that they were making that progress, but now it seems like they're taking a step back with the age direction in favor of a new direction with gender, which is fine.
I think the older Doctor is this, I hate to say it, like, I think the Doctor works best when he's an older character, or she's an older character, because they're, like, we equate age with the sort of an older look, you know, when someone's 900, 1000, you know, 1,000 years old or great, you know, we want that sort of wisdom, and we can kind of accept wisdom from an older actor or actress than we do necessarily from a younger one. And Tennant is like an anomaly for me because he's so brilliant, and he made me buy into young actor playing the role. But I think Eccleston was a great casting choice, and I think Capaldi was a brilliant way to get us back into sort of an older vibe. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I loved Matt Smith too. I have to throw him some love because I see that you mentioned pretty much everybody but him. But what I liked about Matt Smith's face is that he is so strange looking that I believe that he is not from Earth. And he also looks extremely young and extremely old at the same time to me, like old sometimes and young other times, which really worked for the Doctor because that's kind of what he is.
And I give Matt Smith credit for being and like optimistic. When he got angry, like I got scared. Like when Matt Smith did a really good job of like turning on a dime and just being like, "No, you're going to be the one who runs away from me. Come and get me." Oh my God. I feel like he can turn it on.
The fact that he had a love interest that was so much older than him in River Song, with the actress being so much older than him, spoke to the fact that he seemed ageless.
Which is weird because in like he's like 5,000 and she's like 30?
She's older than that. No, she's like 50.
No, because she was 20. She was 25 when she regenerated.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in real life, like the
Yeah,
actor.
yeah, I know.
Like,
I'm just saying. It's weird when you think about the actual
she's just
math.
hot, so she can get away with it. It doesn't matter like what age. Alex Kingston is just a babe, and no one cares.
All right, Billy asked, "What is your favorite storyline from any series of Doctor Who?"
So this was tough because old school Who I have 25 plus years of to go back to. So I'm going to pick two. One's real easy, and that's The Unearthly Child, which is the very first Doctor Who episode ever. I think that you kind of have to throw it a little bit of props because Unearthly Child basically is where it all began. You had to create this universe in 1963 that people could buy into, and it worked perfectly. And we wouldn't have what we have today if it wasn't for that. So got to give a little love to William Hartnell and Unearthly Child. But I'm going to pick one of my favorite episodes. It's a single episode. An episode of the show from the classic series. It's another John Pertwee, and it's called The Death to the Daleks. And this was the Doctor and Sarah Jane Smith end up on a planet that is sucking the power out of the TARDIS. You guys froze, so I don't know if I froze. Oh, no, wait, there we go. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong screen. So they end up on a planet that sucks out all energy, and the TARDIS gets too close to it, and so it loses its energy. And when they're on the planet, they figure out that there's this big city, a living city that these people have created. It has like its own mind, and it was designed to protect itself. And then it turned on the people who created it. And one of its things does to protect itself is to suck all the energy out. Well, it also does this to the Daleks, and they're all stuck on the same planet, and they have to figure out a way to get off this planet and destroy, the beacon or whatever. And what's really great about the episode is when the Doctor and Sarah Jane go into the city, they have to go through this really cool series of puzzles because the city, it has defenses, and then they're all intellect based. So you get to like kind of watch the Doctor go, oh, I figured it out. And then he explains how he gets through each room, which is like really fascinating. And then the best part about it is he gets to like the last room and he's about to solve the thing. And he's like, oh, okay, it's this. And then at the last minute, he's like, oh, wait a minute. No, it's not. But it's too late. And he screws up and he fails. And then they have to it's them fleeing. Well, meanwhile, the Daleks were going through the same puzzles. It's just a really fun episode. And at the end of the day, of course, they find a way to destroy the city. But I think the thing that I really liked about it was the puzzles. I thought that was like really neat because it was a show kind of taking an intellectual, it wasn't just the Doctor doing action-y things. It was like, oh, I'm going to think for a moment. And it really established for the character that the character is really intelligent, and thinking is a key component of who the character is. So that I really like that episode.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. I just think it's great, like how the Daleks and the Doctor have been able to carry on such there's not many shows that have like a villain that is so like used.
Like the longevity.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
Can you believe we're still watching salt shakers like roll around and shoot lasers? Like, I can't believe, but they're still great. Oh, speaking of which, I have one of them. This is my little Dalek.
You are an enemy of the Daleks. You must be destroyed.
I have the scientist Dalek because orange is my favorite color.
Nice.
You will make a good Dalek.
That's amazing.
Exterminate! Exterminate!
There you go. That's my little Dalek plushie. I'm a nerd.
The way that they designed the show to have the lead actor be replaced means that they created a show that can go on for as long as they want. And like being able to have any time or space setting in several planets that don't exist, it's endless possibilities, and that's why this show can be on forever if they wanted to.
Any time period, you can wait 40 years and explore a whole explore a whole new era.
Yeah.
When you were talking to Roth about when you guys stopped, I also stopped watching at the same time because for the same issues. And I hope that they get the writing back. I hope they apparently did, because apparently last season, everybody loves last season, so I might catch up. But, I think that is still the strength of the show. I wasn't a big fan of how they sort of solved the, oh, we were at the 12th regeneration and now he can't technically have any more and there's no finality to the show. It was really weird. And then, oh, we're just going to start over. Now you have a whole bunch again. And I was like, whatever.
I wanted to ask you, because you're a big classic Who fan, The 13th Doctor in Classic Who was a completely different character. The VAR.
He was, if I remember correctly, because it's been a while, the Colin Baker Trial of a Time Lord. He is being tried by the 13th Doctor. And technically speaking, the 13th Doctor we had wasn't the same Doctor yet, because we're not really at 13. And we could always say that because he's got new regenerations, he may still have 12 more, and that 13th Doctor may be the one, which gives them plenty of time to never resolve that plot hole.
It was interesting because I was wondering if they were going to explore it, and when they introduced the War Doctor, I was like, that kind of messes things up, but he doesn't consider himself a doctor, so all right, I'll let that go.
Pretty confident that we're not going to resolve any of the classic series plot holes that may still have been open. Like, I feel like this show, and probably for the better of the show, is going to be its own thing now, and the plot devices that it has made it for itself will be the strength of the storyline threads that they keep threading. I don't think they're necessarily going to go too far back in the well anymore.
At least they're bringing back old creatures, though, because I love what they're doing with the Zygons.
And the Centaurans, who thought the Centaurans would ever be a popular thing, but now those dudes are just fantastic. I love the Centaurans.
The Silurians, because now they have the availability to make this really amazing makeup jobs, and they're awesome. They're so much better now than they were. The Silurians are cool, and I love that.
They're very cool. I mean, if you watch some of the old episodes of Who, I mean, the costuming was, I mean, it's literally like a dude in a sheet that's been colored, and, you know, he's like walking around, you know, with claws, and that's...
I love stuff like that, though. I love it when it's like extra cornball, like, I love it.
Cornball.
The same reason people still love the original Star Trek, because you can pick up a that weighs lighter than a feather, and...
That boulder is great.
All right, so we got one more, because we do want to let everyone else in here, but you got so much to say about Classic Who, we can't ignore you. What character...
Wait, didn't you already ask that?
No.
Okay.
Not the fourth one.
I don't think so. What character would make a great companion if given the chance?
Yeah, we didn't do that yet.
Oh, okay.
So...
I
was going to pick the Master as well, and then I heard Nolan's reasoning, and I'm going to pick the Master again anyway for different reasons. So completely different story notes, and this goes back to being classic, right? So we're talking Classic Who. They were friends as kids, the Doctor and the Master. And I think I like Missy, but not necessarily as the Master, but I like her as a villain. But I think the thing they're getting too far away from in that character dynamic is the relationship that they had as friends. You know, like, they were really, really close on Gallifrey before the Doctor stole the TARDIS, and, you know, the Master had to follow the rules, and the Doctor really didn't, and he steals the TARDIS and goes off on adventures, and meanwhile the Master, you know, has these plans, and he has to do it a different way. And I think if you look at the dynamic between the original characters, I think that having these two friends, because you know it won't last forever. So you have these two friends that maybe for 2 or 3 adventures, they're friends and they're working together. And of course, the Master will drop the hammer on him by the end, because that happens. But I would love to see, like, the Doctor being like, oh my God, like, this is the friendship I've always wanted with you. Like, I'm back to having the relationship I had with you when we were kids. And man, this feels so good. And that's why he lets his guard down. And in the final episode of this companion series, the Master disappoints him like he or she always does. And and then we see, like, oh, like, I had it for a moment. It was there. I was happy to be with you, and now we're back, you know. But I want him to know the whole time. I want him to know it's the Master, because that's the thing I want to have between two, like, brilliant minds solving these problems together. So that would be I would still pick the Master, but that way.
Yeah, and I really think that would work for something that, like, because Gallifrey is still just out there, and I really just want to lock it down and be like, we got it, guys, it's fine. And I feel like that would be kind of like an interesting team to do that. It's kind of like how Thor and Loki had to team up to save Asgard, like a buddy cop between hero and villain. It's interesting. I also had the idea, because one of my favorite episodes of the Capaldi series was the one where we meet young Davros.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been interesting if they had adventured for a little while before he realized he was Davros, and that would have had more weight, I think, on everything.
And I really like that episode too. For
Yeah.
Oh.
like,
It was a good one.
yeah,
The
for
hands.
just how they, yeah, the hands were creepy as hell.
All right, Jack. Well, that's all of it. You want to plug anything? I know you've been doing some new stuff over.
Yeah. First, let me thank everybody for letting me kind of jump in and go a little long. I'm really sorry for that, but thank you again. And thanks for having me. If you don't know already, I'm the host of Fan Friction on Tough Channel, and we are planning our next season of new shows where Kimber will eventually put that belt that sits behind her on the line, which he's pointing to, but I don't know if you can see, but it's there. But I have been working on some guests, guys. And I guarantee you will not want to miss this season because I have two guests planned. I have a bunch of guests planned, but I have two really, really awesome guests that are going to blow your mind when I announce who they are.
Can I
I'm
ask you a question?
so excited to tell you, but I can't.
Does one of the guests do a really good Hulk impression?
I don't know. Do they? I don't know the answer to that question. But
all right.
yeah.
Well,
So please join us. Our season will start again on August 27th. I'm booking it right now. We're gonna have a few more episodes than we normally do, so we'll have about 10 episodes. Lots of different guests, lots of great fans coming back to fight again. Follow us at Tough Channel on Twitter. You can follow me at JRSPitboy 2008 on Twitter. I follow you back if you like me to, so just let me know. And thank you again for letting me come in and talk so long.
no problem, man. It's great to have you. I know you're not available for every episode, so when it's something you're passionate about, there's no reason to cut you short.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
No
Have a great
problem.
night.
Have a
Later.
great
Bye,
night.
guys. Bye.
All right, and Jack is out of here. So up next, we're gonna have Billy, our buddy Billy. Thanks again, everyone, for sticking tight. We're gonna try to blaze. We got 2 hours left. We're gonna try to blaze through the rest of these callers. But you guys are wonderful. I'm enjoying the chat. Jason Statham, what are you guys talking about? Joe's talking about when Flash and Captain Cold team up. That was a good example about what I was talking about. I love
Sherlock and Moriarty
Captain
is
Cold.
an apt
Yeah.
comparison, like Ross.
Well,
Ross
yeah.
was saying.
And I would like to say real quick, because Billy's here, and I'm going to introduce him in a second. I really like, as in Homecoming, he reminded me a lot at the end of Captain Cold and how like he was kind of honorable about the whole situation. But I digress. Hey, Billy, how's it going?
Hey guys, how's it going? It's going pretty well, I guess.
Well, good, buddy. You want to talk about some Doctor Who?
Do I want to talk about Doctor Who? Yes, of course I want to talk about Doctor Who. I've been pumped for this all week.
Oh, great. You know what's funny? We actually thought this episode was going to have like the least turnout of our current episodes, and you guys proved us wrong. Let's go with the first question. Mr. Nolan asks us, who or what is the best Doctor Who monster or villain?
The best Doctor Who monster or villain. I actually was going to go with the Master, but I'm going to go with the Cybermen. Simply because, I mean, Nolan even said it before. He's like what Ultron should have been. They don't look scary on the outside, but, you know, get a couple of them together, and, yeah, the Cybermen are actually pretty scary when you think about it. I mean, knowing that they were people in some of the stories. I mean, yeah, Cybermen you do not want to mess with. I mean, obviously you got the Daleks, you got the Slitheen. No, you got a lot of people, but I've been drawn to the Cybermen since, well, Tennant's run, and I thought they were going to be the dumbest thing possible because I was fairly new to the Doctor Who fandom. But they really surprised me. They had some of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, we have a Dalek toy here. It's not up on the shelf. It's over here. And it's funny because, not Dalek, I'm sorry, Cybermen. and it's closed, and it looks like the dumb Cybermen. But then you open its face, and there's an exposed skull, and you're like, oh yeah, like these things are just walking around Iron Maidens that like feed. They're like parasitic machines. It's such an interesting idea, and I really liked. Like, I didn't like what they did with the Cybermen per se, but I really liked Mr. Clever, the Matt Smith clone.
Yes.
I liked that they are always trying to update. You know what I mean? Whereas the Daleks are so like stuck in their ways, except when they change colors to match iPods.
Or the human Dalek. Don't forget about that. When
I thought that was interesting.
Or when there was a Dalek with a soul. It was early in Capaldi's run. It was a weird episode. I think it was maybe his second episode. Yeah. Oh no! When they go inside of a Dalek.
Oh yeah. I love the Dalek like Asylum episode. That one was really cool. How they kind of just like decay into the sewer system. It's weird.
Yeah, but
anyway. Cybermen are cool. I like them. All right. Ashley asked, what companion deserves a spinoff?
I thought about this. I thought maybe River would be kind of fun. Of course, Captain Jack already had his spinoff with Torchwood, which was great. And obviously K9. And the greatest companion ever, Sarah Jane. May she rest in peace. But,
well, Sarah Jane had a spinoff.
I mean the actress. May she rest in peace.
Oh, well, yes.
And I thought about this, but I couldn't really think of anybody else. But I thought Clara, honestly. I mean, she's got a – now, hear me out on this. I know you did not like the ending of it. I agree.
No, I just hate Clara.
I only liked her first episode.
Yeah, when she's making the souffle, it's the only time she's useful.
Yeah.
I don't say that about women, but I say about Clara.
Yeah, but I would want to see what adventures she has, maybe even if it's a one-season run or one series run she has before she has to go back to that fixed point in time. I mean, you guys don't care about spoilers, right?
We know how Clara dies.
Yeah. So, I mean, she is going to die, but I mean, she's literally just avoiding her death. And I just like to see what she does with that last however long it is. I know you have very strong feelings, but still.
Like, I almost like Martha more than her.
Why did you say that name? Stop saying that name. That's torturing me.
Because at least Martha had. I'm sorry to bring you back.
No, it's fine. It gives me PTSD, but it's fine.
She worked through that stuff, and like it was cool to see her with Mickey, or is that Ricky?
Mickey.
The Ted dog.
So yeah, I don't know. At least she like got better. Clara just kind of.
Martha was the worst.
Even my mom doesn't like Clara.
Wow. Wow. I don't love her. I would just be interested to see where that goes, though. That's just me. I don't even hate her either. I thought she was just okay.
She doesn't seem smart.
Jeez.
Not my best answer, I know, but you know,
your fault.
I went there. So
what is the next question? You asked, what is the favorite storyline from any series of Doctor Who?
It's actually going to be the end of the second series with the Master. And, you know, the sound of drums, when you just hear that. Yes, you hear that. And it was awesome seeing the relationship between the Master and the Doctor. And, I mean, it's always great seeing the Master and the Doctor, but here it's like, I mean, the Master basically takes over the world, and he does it in a really smart way. It's subliminal messaging, and then you get the crossovers with all the other companions, and past companions and all. And yeah, of course, the master disappoints the doctor in the end, but apparently, the people of Gallifrey can choose not to regenerate. I did not know that, because like Tennant's just going like, regenerate, come on, it's just you and me, and he's just out of pure spite is just no, and dies, and it was tragic, but that is the master right there. And he's just, John Sims is just, he's so wonderful to watch. And both him and David Tennant are unbelievable actors. I can't wait to just gush over David Tennant some more. So yeah, that is my favorite storyline, just because that was when I knew that I was like, okay, I'm sticking with this show. There's just something special about it.
Yeah, and it was like super heartfelt that he chose to like sacrifice himself for Wilf, even though Wilf is like very old, and like they had a really beautiful like discussion through him making his decision and stuff, because like I think the master was like calling him dad or something, and he's like, oh, I'd be proud if he was, and all this. Like it was just, I loved it. It's like super emotional.
Gun in that episode.
He's like, the doctor had a gun in that episode.
He did.
Yeah. All right. So, last question tonight. What character would have made a great companion if given the chance?
I'm going to go also Jenny. Just because, I mean, I thought she was really cool. And honestly, she could get her own spinoff series. But I would like to just see her and the Doctor, like, I feel like they would have great banter with each other. I mean, she is his daughter after all, and it would just be like a nice.
Yeah, and his wife in real life.
Yeah,
Tom
and
points out.
his wife in real life. So you know that they would have great chemistry together, and I mean, not now, because now it's obviously Jodie Whittaker, and I can't wait for Jodie Whittaker. I think she's going to be great, but yeah, my pick is Jenny.
Awesome. Yeah, I think she's a good pick and definitely worth mentioning. Also, Sally Sparrow from the episode Blink is kind of like one of the good companions that we never got to have. I think she would have been excellent. And I think my mom, I'm going to shout her out one more time, would pick Vincent Van Gogh for this question. That's her all-time favorite episode. So shout out to my mom on that. Yeah, Tom's getting emotional because I brought it up.
Mama Bear is wise.
But yeah, so do you have anything to plug today before you get out of here, Bill?
No, I'm working on a couple stuff. I swear to you, I will get some blog posts up as soon as I can. I'm working with Christopher Waltz, and I'm going to be doing some voice work for him soon that I can't wait to show you guys. And I actually helped Jack on one of the tough episodes for Scaring a Guest, and I cannot wait for that episode. But yeah, you can find me at bbusterbill, all capital B's, on Twitter. Find me on Instagram, blockbusterbill. B's are not capitalized. And just say hi sometimes, and I'll probably respond back.
Nice.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Map here. Young Master Stark, Jenny from the Block. I want R2D2. C-3PO. Dr. Spock. I think he's just writing haikus or something in the chat. He's channeling dead people. All right, next we got Corey.
Oh, Corey. Thank you guys for waiting patiently in this busy room tonight. We appreciate it.
Yes, yes.
Toys.
I'm not compensating.
I love that, and that special with both of them. Sand shoes.
Hello.
Hey, Corey, how's it going?
It's going okay.
Great. Well, got a bunch of questions here to ask you.
Nobody
First
told me
one
that
being, have you never been on the show before?
No, never.
Nolan asks, who or what is the best Doctor Who monster or villain?
I'm sorry, man. I know this is this is an easy answer, but I got to go with the silence. A religious order who has the power to like interrogate you and then make you forget they were ever there. That's just too much power. That's it.
Scary.
Yeah.
When you said religious, it gave me this flashback, and I have to talk about this moment because it's the funniest moment in Doctor Who, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And it's the in Demon's Run, Doria Maldivar, who is the big blue guy, was
Blue Varys.
Blue Varys. He was coming over to like greet the headless monks, and he's like, oh my lord, it's their death chant. That one always slays me. Like, it's the goofiest line of dialogue in the whole show. I just had to mention that.
I also think it would be cool if, like, I don't know if they meant to do this, but if the silence were actually like what people think the Men in Black are, and like all they remember was like, oh, he was like in a black suit or something. That'd be really interesting.
They did wear suits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were like Lenderman.
Yeah, kind of.
They did. They kind of reminded me of that.
All right. Well, Ashley asked us, which companion deserves a spinoff?
Handles. The correct answer is always Handles. And I'm echoing really bad. I don't know what that's about.
You don't sound echoey here.
Okay.
Yeah, Handles is a beloved character for sure. My friend D, you guys might remember Sweet D from the early days of the show, but I did a tattoo on her that's just Handles' head with a banner that says Handles. So he's definitely like got a bit of a cult following.
I like them.
So yeah, you could
Bill.
Oh, I'm sorry. You could do a show where
No,
Handles is carried around in a suitcase and God knows what all. Gets into adventures.
Nice.
Handles Day Out.
Weekend at Handles.
Weekend at Handles.
Weekend
All
at
right.
Handles.
Bill asked us, what is your favorite storyline from any series of Doctor Who?
Well, the Demon's Run storyline probably is, but if I have to come up with one specific thing, it's when the Cybermen invade London or Cardiff or wherever, they end up all over the world, and they got to find out what's in the Void ship and all that stuff at the end of season 2.
Army of Ghosts.
Yeah, that's my favorite, but I don't want to spoil the ending because Mac's in here and he has not seen that yet, and he's starting to watch the show. But we all know what we found in there.
Yeah, for sure. I also have a lot of love for the Pandorica.
Oh.
That episode, I believe it was a 2-parter, but I loved the use of quick and dirty time travel with the wrist piece that they got insinuated off of Jack, but he was doing that really quick and direct, like time jumping with the mop and the hat and everything, and I just loved the way it was used. I loved the twist with like a monster in the episode and everybody ganging up to kind of stop him. So a lot of love for both of those, the Pandorica and Demon's Run.
What's the one on the train? Not the Orient Express one. The Midnight.
Pete Roth was talking about that already. Yeah.
Oh man, that's such a good episode.
Yeah, the Wedding of River Song.
No, I'm talking about the one where Martha's on vacation at the place where if the glass breaks,
It's Donna,
she'll die.
yeah.
Or Donna,
Right,
sorry, yeah. And
With the guy
he goes
repeating
on.
himself.
Yeah,
and
they
stuff.
repeat.
Yeah, that's
themselves.
Midnight. Roth was already talking about that one.
Such a good episode.
Oh, Midnight's awesome. Absolutely.
All right, closing this up. What character would have made a great companion given the chance?
Oh, what character would have made a great companion? You know what? I forgot that question was here. But I'm thinking that where they're on the bus and it ends up out in the desert. I forget the name of that episode. But But that one, it had the
not
jewel,
Buffy.
it had the jewel thief lady in there, and I would have liked to see like the criminal sort have to travel with the Doctor and have them clash and over morality and stuff. That would have been fun.
Yeah, I mean, River kind of was that, but they never really clashed on a moral basis. It was always like, they always kind of gave River a pass.
Yeah, well, they had a romantic element, so you know
It's like
people-
Catwoman and Batman.
Yeah.
River and Matt and Matt Smith were Batman and Catwoman. Well, the more you know.
The more you know.
Corey, tell us where they can find you and what you're up to.
I'm at Geometroid on Twitter, and I run the Tech Podcast. We're inching along on that. I'm also on Kim's Classics. Buck's Classics. There's some confusion over the title. Over on YouTube,
Yeah.
and Let's Remake It on YouTube. I'm hanging around the Game Fixers. Although not probably anymore now that I call it Kim's Classics.
Anywho, thank you. Thank you so much for coming by. It was great to have you, Corey.
As always, man, it was nice to be here.
And I'm sure we'll see you again during the week.
Oh yeah, you will.
All right, buddy. Have a great night. Jack. All right.
So next up, we are going to have Ashley and Joe, followed by Matt, and then Kim. And then are all these people calling in? Tom, Z?
Yeah, let us know if you are or are not calling in, and we'll either add you or cross you off the list.
I'm
Let
send
me call.
Ash and Joe an invite now.
Am I calling Joe or Ashley? Take bets. Who am I calling?
Joe.
Okay. Let's find out. They need 1 minute. We gotta buy time. So, how about that sports team?
I don't sports.
Me either. Hi, welcome to Odd Shape Channel. I'm just gonna reboot and start off from the top.
So tonight we're going to be watching Get Out once we finish
Get
up
Out?
this show. So we have not seen it yet. Candace says we have to. So, I listen to everything Candace says. So let us know if you guys like that movie in the chat without spoilers.
Also, I haven't acknowledged it yet on the air, but I got an awesome present in the mail, and it's a little Blade doll from Puppet Master. And Dell knows I love Puppet Master. And thank you so much, Mormo. You're the best. And if you haven't seen Mormo's new episode of the Mormo Zone, how have we not plugged this yet? He interviews Susan Layton, who's a writer and a film critic for 1428 Elm, TV series Hub.tv, a bunch of different series and horror stuff. She's big into Ash versus the Evil Dead, and I know we got a lot of fans of that in the chat, and they talk about that a little bit in the episode. They also talk about the Cult of Chucky movie that's coming out. There's a bunch of stuff there that they explore.
Twin Peaks.
They talk a little bit about Twin Peaks. You didn't think we talked about it enough on this channel? Well, we just lost a viewer. We don't talk about Twin Peaks.
Can you pull that up to see if they're telling you you got to call and stuff?
Ghostbusters.
It's amazing.
Talking about
Get Out.
Yeah.
It's the best movie I've seen this year, says Bill. Hey, Bill. That's MST3K Bill popping up.
My buddy. Yeah, Bill's put him on my list later or earlier.
Yeah, that leech woman grosses me out too.
Pinhead's great. I like Pinhead. Blade's my favorite. Well, and Six Shooter is great. He's like the dad from Boondock Saints, except he has 6 arms.
Yeah, so Tom was getting stressed out just as we were renting Get Out
Yeah.
at the prospect of even watching Get Out because he knows it's going to be
I just have like
intense.
crazy anxiety, and
We've heard it's pretty intense to watch, so
like
I'm excited.
I know it's
personally.
important, and it's got a lot of commentary. Like that's something I can get down with, but I'm an anxious person.
After Candace's review, though, we have to. This
I
one's for
will
you.
at least be walking in and out of the room nervously. Like, half the movies
You're
we
gonna
watch.
you're gonna get out. I think Candace said she did have to like pause for breaks because it was stressful for her. We're just buying some time here, waiting for
We're at
our
a fixed
BFFs.
point of time at the moment, so we have to wait for it to pass and then to call our lovelies. I challenge you to dance off until then.
Yeah.
I know you have sick dance moves. She was at my company holiday party tearing up the floor. Oh, good, TJ.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is I feel like this is actually a movie that has potentially to be like actually be scary and unnerving to me. 'Cause
And
I'm a little
to come from
desensitized.
Jordan Peele, like that's shocking in itself because I think he's a great comedian. Who knew? Well, they always say that comedy and horror marry each other pretty well, so maybe you just kind of had to think in the opposite direction.
So we ended up together, right?
Horror and comedy?
Yeah,
Am I horror? Or am
I'm
I comedy?
horror. Come on now.
I'm comedy?
Yes.
Do I look funny to you?
Yes.
I'm not even wearing the mutton chop.
Try sending, he says.
Am I sending it to Joe or Ashley?
I'm assuming Joe.
Okay. I saw Ashley in there before though.
Just send it to both of them.
No.
They're not gonna both open.
Who knows?
Sorry,
Ha
I
ha
was just
ha!
reading the chat
Classic
here.
comedy. You guys see that they're remaking Sleepwalkers? Why? Like the Kevin Bacon one's fine.
I
Or
wonder-
Flatliners.
Yeah, I wanted to tell Joe that I saw something about like they're doing like a Dune comic or something that's supposed to be like
And there's
pretty
supposed to be a
close to the.
sequel coming out
Yeah.
too.
He's all about that spice.
Cause he's all about that spice. Our viewers are dropping.
Yeah. Maybe we can squeeze somebody else in really quick while they're just because it is kind of tight with time tonight and we are doing nothing. Do you want to have Matt on real quick while they figure out what's going on?
I wouldn't call existing nothing.
We're gonna get Matt Whitaker on real quick just to keep the show flowing, and we will have Ashley and Joe on in a minute when they figure out what's going on. I think they're having some technical difficulties.
He's all about that tech. Technical difficult. That doesn't really work. Not spelled. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Wait,
Oh wait, here they are.
Joe.
They have arrived. From the prophecy. Well, I feel their presence. Oh,
Hey.
There it is.
oh.
Sort of.
Hey, buddy.
I can see y'all. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, we can hear you and see you. How are you?
Okay. Waiting for my better half to get out here.
So, do y'all like Doctor Who?
Yes, greatly. We are kind of in a similar boat where we haven't seen like the last season. As a matter of fact, I think the farthest we've gotten is about 3 or 4 episodes into the Capaldi stuff. But that's about it.
He's great. I just feel like they didn't know what to do with him for a lot of his run, unfortunately.
And that's like not unexpected in some cases, because I would imagine, like, depending on the actor and the like feel for the show they want to go with, it's going to take a little time for the Doctor to kind of settle into the role of the Doctor in that season.
He did have some great episodes. I liked the finale of the first season he did a lot. So
The tower one, right?
it's like the one with the time loop thing.
Yeah, that was cool.
But it was he had some moments for sure. I thought he was great, and I thought he looked great, and I loved his outfit, and I really liked the casting choice. I just don't feel like they used him to his full potential.
Yeah, I get it.
I blame Clara.
That's one to blame.
Let's get you going on this first question here, and then whenever Ashley comes in, we can just get her on. Nolan asked us, Who or what is the best Doctor Who monster or villain?
I really, this is a tough one because they're all over the place. And some of the better ones to me are like ones that are one-time off villains. Like I really enjoyed, I think it's the Dream Lord or whatever he was called.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one that like they also kind of hinted that he'd show back up or something, but he never did. And that was a little frustrating, but I really like that character a lot.
Yeah, he was good on freaking Sherlock too. That same actor. But
And Captain America.
Well,
I liked
he
the Whisper
regularly
Men
acts.
the Whisper Men were cool too for like a one-shot villain. I'm a big fan of what they did with that. I thought that was spooky.
Yeah. As a side note, I really do like the Silence. I mentioned it in the chat, like a conspiracy theorist's wet dream, because it's like all these different conspiracies rolled into one. They said you would join. Just answer questions. We got back. I'm still in the first question.
All right. Talking to Kim.
I would never think about you, Ashley. You know that. So, did you have a favorite monster or villain from Doctor Who?
Oh man, everybody's already said so many of the good ones. It's been so long since I've watched Doctor Who. We kind of fell off after Capaldi joined. I mean, there's just something special about like the Daleks, especially the ones where it was like versus the Cybermen, which has been brought up before. Like how catty they were to each other, and like, yeah, you're only good at like dying or whatever. I just think that was such a classic little episode with those two. And the Daleks are just so, I mean, iconic is a word that's thrown around a lot in our circles, but like even if you don't know what Doctor Who is, like you
recognize the Daleks.
Recognize the Daleks.
For sure.
The Daleks are in Rugrats. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not even
they
kidding.
are.
Like,
Yeah, it's an
Daleks
Easter
are
egg.
hidden throughout pop culture. They're so influential.
All right, let's get Ashley's answer first on this because it was her question. You asked us which companion deserves a spinoff. Who did you have in mind?
Originally, I was thinking in like, of course, like I'm so bad with names, but the ones from the Victorian era that really aren't companions, but we wish they were. Lady, was it Vastra?
Yeah, Jenny and Strax.
Yeah, like I just want to see like a show of them. Like I think that would be the cutest thing ever. They're so adorable. Strax is adorable because he's always getting people's information wrong. Like, you know, he calls people like young man and it's like a woman or whatever, just because like their, you know, species has no gender. And just like them solving crimes in the Victorian era, and then like all of the comedy that could come from the fact that you have this, you know, creature from the center of the earth in a relationship with a female human. They're both women. There would be a lot of like politeness issues that could come up with like a whole comedy of errors and just the comedy of manners kind of thing that I think would be fun.
Like Downtown Abbey meets Supernatural.
Yeah.
Meet Scooby-Doo, because since it's like there's no real like supernatural element to it, because you know the Doctor said multiple times magic doesn't exist, so do that kind of thing.
How about you, Joe?
I was also kind of in the same boat with them. I love those three so much, but if I had to go with an actual like solid companion, I like Mickey a lot. Like I really liked Mickey because it feels like Mickey and Rory are both characters that came into their own. Like they had massive growth arcs for what they were, because Mickey was just some like bum kid from like just like a small town or a small little community in London or something, and ended up being like the leader of a resistance force and freedom fighters and stuff. So I'd like to see maybe the Adventures of Mickey and Tim's World or Pete's World.
Yeah, like even like I did not like Martha as a companion, but when she was working with Mickey, I really liked her. I liked how her character also grew. So even if she was,
I was gonna say I really liked Martha in general once she just wasn't a companion.
exactly. I think some characters do better in the role than others. And
Well, it's just
I don't
the way
know.
it's written. Like she's pining after the Doctor, and he has no clue that she's even has those feelings for him, and
Yeah.
he's all, you know, rightly so,
Essentially,
very upset about Rose.
Essentially, like Martha deserved better, and she was not given as good as she deserved in the role she was given when she was a companion.
I just think it's funny that she's pining over the doctor the whole time, but he's busy worrying about Rose, who was Mickey's original.
Yep.
It's so like it's very soap opera-y, but we don't really acknowledge it.
And she's she's got a little short stint on Torchwood that's really good too.
All right.
I like what Kim Hanley in the chat is showing love to Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, who was the founder of UNIT, saying it could be like a police procedural.
Or they do like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. style thing with UNIT.
I also loved I don't remember his name, but Crowley from Supernatural. We can get back.
FBI agent. I remember that.
Didn't he work for Nick in the Nixon era?
Yeah, he was in the episode with the silence.
Of course, we don't know is Donna. We wish that we could get some more Donna. I don't know how they would work that out. Because if she gets her memory back, wouldn't like the whole world end basically?
Well, her brain fries.
Yeah. But like that investigative streak that she had when we met her again after her Christmas episode, like I would love to see her like going on little investigations. And Catherine Tate is such like great comedic timing because she is like a sketch comedian and does like all sorts of theater. Like I would just want to see more of her because she's awesome.
Yeah, there's a bit, and we'll move on to the next question after this. But for Red Nose Day a few years back, when there's a bit.
Yep, I was thinking.
Yeah, that bit is great.
I do that in class every year.
I love how she's so unimpressed by the Doctor Who thing, and like I said with Jack, how it translates into her character. I love it. All right, well, Billy asked us, what is your favorite storyline from any series of Doctor Who?
Are you my mummy?
Oh, that's great.
Mommy, like that is so creepy. Like I cannot watch that at night because I'll get too scared.
It's how you use a wartime movie or a wartime era as a backdrop for a story. Well,
yeah, they did the same thing too when the Daleks were working with
Churchill.
I thought that was really interesting too. They do a good job of using historical events and eras as a backdrop, as you say.
Well, and that's also when we get to meet Captain Jack for the first time, and then just because that's like a 2-part episode, and it has a really good payoff in the end where the Doctor is so happy that, for one time, everybody gets to live. And I love when the old woman's like, but Doctor, like my leg's back. But it was gone. He's like, okay, like whatever.
Well, advances in medical science.
Yeah, he just tries to explain it away. But was it nanogenes?
The nanogenes, yeah.
Yeah, they cured everybody, and then they even got to save Captain Jack in the end, and the whole dynamic between among the three of them was pretty great. Where it's like, why do you think he's hitting on you? Like he's obviously hitting on me. It's like, well, why can't it be both?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jack was great.
I just love that just this once everybody lives scene because it is so filled with joy. Like if you aren't just like so emotional on that part, I don't know what you're doing with your life. And that's like exactly why everybody needs to start at least at Eccleston and move forward, because there's moments like that are huge to Doctor Who fans. Like missing that would be doing yourself a disservice.
And that episode has a lot of meaning for the Doctor as well, because he recently finished the Time War, and as far as he knows, he committed 2 entire civilizations to mass genocide, just wiped them out, and he is literally the only survivor of that war. So to show up in World War II, which was considered the war to end all wars when it was going on, well, World War II was considered the same thing. That's why we haven't had another World War since.
Yet.
But it was considered like such a huge war that for everyone to live was kind of a big deal.
I also really love.
Corey's saying it's Stephen Moffat's first episode. Corey was saying that's Stephen Moffat's first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And the kid plot in that is very good as well, especially when the young girl is like confronting the butcher about like she's stealing from him and he's gonna like turn her in. She's like, but I have dirt on you. And then like the revelation that like that's not your brother, like you're just like really young looking and like you're this child's mother, and just like really just sad and emotional and scary too, all at the same time, but heartfelt. So many emotions.
Yeah, and real quick, not to just concentrate on wartime eras, but Doctor Who does such a good job with, because it's such a big thing in time travel that you can never change what happens. So Picasso still ends up killing himself. Hitler, despite being put in a closet and punched, he still ends up doing what he ends up doing for
Doing Hitler stuff.
the worst of humanity, but it's necessary to keep the timeline intact. And
But for that brief period, he was kept in a closet and punched in the face.
oh yeah, but he was almost dead, but the doctor saved him. If anything, like it's just like, and the reason Jack the Ripper was never caught was because Madame Vestrick ate him. You know what I mean? Like it's so cool how like they take these bits of history. Like I would not be surprised if like Amelia Earhart has some part. Like, she's actually in one of those flying space. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
it's
she
such a good job.
lived out the rest of her life as like a freighter captain in space somewhere, delivering supplies between planets.
Or stuck in
Like,
that traffic jam in New York and with the cats.
I love those cats.
Yes.
I love all cat-faced people on Doctor Who. That makeup looks so awesome, and I know there's like some really corny jokes with like and stuff, but I love it. It's ridiculous and awesome.
You just didn't do one Kajik has wears joke.
I love that, like, whenever they came across the one family in the cab who was the father was a cat man and the mother was just a human, and he's like, we got the kids in the back and they just use kittens. They don't even have like little babies with cat faces on them. It's just kittens. I'm just like,
maybe they
I
go
love
like
it.
some kind of cycle.
Corey corrected me. I said Picasso instead of Van Gogh. Even though it's
yeah, I was about to say. Or as Bill Nighy, who was in that episode, pronounces it, Van Gogh.
Van
Yeah,
Gogh.
Differently in Europe.
I loved Bill Nighy in that episode, by the way. Nice pull, Joe.
His Twitter handle is Van Gogh 200.
And related side note, Daredevil season 2 features a guy that plays Van Gogh as a crime boss, and
Yes.
it's terrifying.
That
He's
freaking
also-
guy looks just like Van Gogh. That was really good casting.
If you watch Crazy Heads, it's on Netflix. It's
Yeah.
a BBC thing. He's
That's
a major character in that too, and he's really good.
nice.
All right, so did both of you answer that question?
Joe needs to answer that question. The storyline.
No, it's the same
That's
answer.
the same one.
It
Okay.
literally is the same
Okay.
answer. Because what I was going to say about it, directly about that answer, is like if you want a base example of what Doctor Who is, it's that episode. Those two episodes together, because it's a little bit of horror, a little bit of funny, some action and adventure, weird space-time mucking up, and everybody either lives or dies at the end. And the Doctor's happiness about everyone living shows that sometimes everybody dies.
Yeah, the writing in the first season was fantastic, and you know what? So was Chris Eccleston.
Yes, he was.
So the last question
I'm sure.
was, what character would have made a great companion if ever given the chance?
So I'm gonna have a weird answer to this question. I think Donna would have been the perfect companion for 9 for Christopher Eccleston's Doctor, because
Yes.
there's so much sass that the two of them having the sass off would just be perfect.
Before, I felt like Donna would have done really well with but I mean, at the same time, I don't want to take anything away from Rose. But that's the thing about Doctor Who. If he spent one day away from Rose, that means he could have spent 3 months away with Donna. Like, time means nothing in that show, which is they use it well most of the time.
Well, Rose is a good introductory companion because like she has like enough street savviness, but like she doesn't have like the education level that like someone like Martha or like other companions might have, where it's like, oh, like I'm fascinated by this stuff because it's a new audience, but also like I will call you out on your stuff as well. But she has that kind of street level.
Yeah, it's Donna too.
Yeah. I like Donna too, because when all the other companions are like, "Oh man, what's this?" Donna's just like, "I don't care. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't care."
But Donna was like a bleeding heart too, because she like wanted to help the Ood so much,
Yep.
and like her heart broke for these people that she couldn't save. Like,
Yeah.
I loved Donna.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Even when the doctor's like, "This is normal. This is okay," she's like, "No, it's not."
Yeah.
well, when I say she's unimpressed by the Doctor, that's not to say that the things that she sees together she's not impressed by. And and she has genuine feelings for the people she comes across. Remember the little fat things?
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
Adipose.
Adipose.
But like I like that she had a tough exterior, but at the end of the day, like she had a lot of soul to her. Like she really cared. Like I really relate to Donna because that's the type of personality I have.
Yep.
Like she's prickly, but she's gooey on the inside.
And you can see how her and Wilf are related.
Yep.
Oh, I love Wilf.
Wilf is the answer to this question, but it's like so obvious that.
I would have definitely liked to have seen like more episodes with like Mickey and Rose like going on adventures with the Doctor. But my actual answer is it's kind of weird. There was this character who was like a submarine tech in the Cold War, played by David Warner. So he's like a Russian scientist. He's obsessed with Ultravox. The only thing he wanted to know from the Doctor was, did Ultravox break up in the future? Because like that's his favorite band. He shouldn't be listening to them because that's when the whole East Germany versus West Germany, thing was happening. I want to see that character go on an adventure with the Doctor because I think that would be hilarious and awesome. And David Warner is a fabulous character actor, and him and Matt Smith will have been an interesting dynamic because he is so much older than him. And plus, Ultravox is a really cool band.
Who was the kid that the Doctor hooked up with Jack?
Oh, Alfie.
That's Alonzo.
Yeah.
Alonzo.
That would have been a great pick.
Which he was in, I think, the Hound of Baskerville's episode of Sherlock.
Yes, he was.
Oh yeah.
Which is my favorite episode of Sherlock because it's my favorite story from Sherlock Holmes, and I feel like they handled it perfectly.
Yeah, I was worried about it, and they did a really good job. The modernization on we could do a whole Sherlock show, which isn't a bad idea, but
Maria. Those are the best ones.
But
submarine scientist, Cold War guy. I don't know his name. I just know he's played by David Warner.
All right, it's a good pick. Well, if that's everything,
you guys want to plug what you've been up to?
Well, we of course have been working on BFF still for our summer binge. We are currently working on The Flash. That's exciting.
Yeah, so The Flash will come out on Sunday. Also on Sunday, I will be on Tom Zambino's show, Cars and Popcorn, talking about my favorite movie in the entire world, Dragnet. So if you haven't seen that, watch it. If you need some help watching it, maybe slide into the DMs. I could hook you up. What?
Phrasing?
Yes.
But yeah.
We were also both on Nolan's show, which I know he plugged earlier. I talked about To Kill a Mockingbird, another one of my favorites.
I talked about The Big Lebowski, also one of my favorites.
Yeah, and Ashley seemed to blow Nolan's mind, and then Joe seemed to bring it back down to ground level.
Which is funny because we filmed them opposite. He filmed his first, and I did mine second.
Yep.
Nice.
Behind the scenes.
But and then also from our Geek to My Nerd channel, we have been doing some live streaming of video games. Recently, we've been doing Rogue Legacy. The game is challenging. The whole point is to die. Yeah.
Die to live again. And also before I forget, on Thursday at 1:30 Eastern, noon Central, 10:30 Pacific, I will be on Miss Movie's show, Film Therapy. So please, if you're around for that, come by. I'm so excited and nervous at the same time. It's a huge deal for me. So
I will be playing the role of Cat Wrangler.
Yes, because you know how I'm surprised they're actually being good right now.
Yeah, we have all four of them are on the couch and they're behaving.
Nice.
They're all asleep.
Yeah, that's awesome, Ashley. We'll definitely have to check that out.
Yes, but yeah, that'll be live, and if you miss it live, it'll be up forever. So hopefully.
All right. Well, thank you guys, and we will see you soon. And you guys can catch me in the chat on all of their Let's Plays.
She hasn't missed one.
We'll definitely try to be there for the Miss Movies thing. Congratulations. I know it's a big deal.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you soon, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Matthew Whitaker is next.
Everything's coming up Millhouse, and Millhouse is OSP. Everyone's doing good so far this year, despite.
Everything's going to turn around for old Gil.
Yeah, we're old Gil. Our channel is old Gil. Oh, you know what the worst thing about that though is it never turns around. Problem. I was writing Matt before. I'm not Matthew, which is really confusing. There's a lot of Matthew Whitakers.
And none of them are the one I'm looking for.
Matt, can you throw your Gmail in either the chat or you can DM us? Just let us know if you DM us so we can check.
If you DM us, DM me, because it'll be easier for me to check.
And the list got a little bit shorter because unfortunately some people
It's getting
have to
late.
sleep.
Yeah.
And so we have an hour left. So we're going to do our best to run through these.
Once you run down who's left, then
Yeah.
they'll let us know who wants to call.
Yeah, if you're not interested in calling, please let me know. And if I missed your name and you are interested in calling, please let me know. So we got Matt, then we got Kim, then we got Mac, then we got Tom Zambino. I wrote down Dub's name as a joke, but if he actually does want to call in, you're more than welcome. Janine, Yosef, Randall, TJ, and Bill. So if you're not interested in calling, please let me know so I cross you out the list, and then we could feel a little bit better about time. I don't have to rush anybody if we have a shorter list.
And again, Matthew Whitaker, if you are here, please let us know what your email is so we can give you a call. We're having a hard time.
Did Kim leave?
Kim did leave.
Oh, she did?
Yes. She put her answers in the chat.
Well, real quick, while we're waiting for the email, I'll read her answers.
Mm-hmm.
So for her first one was the best monster or villain. What?
Yeah.
Yep. She says the Doctor in Demons Run and A Good Man Goes to War. He's the most feared thing in the universe. Even though he's saved them. I don't know. Number 2, which was Companion Dirge, a spinoff. Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart.
Brigadier Lethbridge
I
Stewart.
don't know, man. Founded Unit.
That's what
I think we
was
talked
talking
about it
yeah.
earlier, right? Third one was what's your favorite storyline from any series? She said the 50th anniversary arc, perfect way to mark that milestone. Doctors interacting. I agree, and it's not a new idea. They tried it with the 3rd Doctor and the 5 Doctors, but this was nice to actually have them all in the same place. A lot of those other movies were spliced up episodes and movies, as Jack was saying earlier. And the 4th one, she brought up Sally Sparrow for the companion who never got, or the guest who never got to be companion, I should say. There we go. I found him. Oh, you know what? I remember that now.
That. Come on now.
If this was a city, we failed it just now. That's all I'm saying. But you guys have been great in the chat. It's always helps our energy, especially because you guys know it's a 3-hour show. You're here. Definitely helps us keep chugging along. Having
yeah, Ashley and Joe found out that it's very exhausting to do this show when they were here and they did the one episode with us. So they know the struggle is real. Thanks, guys.
Yay!
Hello.
It worked.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
How you doing tonight?
Good, good. Each time it's like magic. I have a little bit of something to share. Let me see if this will work.
Nice.
Yeah, it's an old
on your picture so people can see it for sure. There we go.
K9 Doctor Who book. Yeah, it has cool stuff in it, including old pictures and, in particular, schematics of K9. Oh yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, it was really good. So yeah, I love Tom Baker, and that was my generation. But I love a lot of the new guys too. So.
Awesome. So I guess let's just get this started.
Yeah, we'll roll right into it. All right. So Nolan Dean, who's going to be the future companion to Time Space Rewind.
I saw that.
Oh, see, I don't know. Who or what is the best Doctor Who monster or villain?
Okay. By far, it is the Daleks, but Daleks in particular because of Davros, and that was like I remember when that episode first came out. Like the Daleks go all the way back to like the first episode of Doctor Who ever. They were kind of weird. They had magnetic bottoms and stuff, and they were odd. But Davros, it was a creepy, decrepit man with his wheelchair thing, and that wheelchair body was actually what the they were made out of. I thought that was freaking cool. So, yeah, creepy.
How did you like how Capaldi met young Davros?
No Capaldi.
Yeah, yeah.
No
Yep.
Capaldi?
You should look up that one episode if you like Davros.
Because
Though.
I will.
there's very few ones, but that one it's interesting, and it's not like a big spoiler, like that's revealed right away at the
Yeah.
beginning of the episode.
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't mind him. I actually thought he looked good. I think he's a really good actor. I have nothing bad to say about him, but I was sort of feeling the fatigue. And when he came, I think I watched the first one, and I was just like, I just don't have time for this. You know, I've got all this other stuff.
And there's also like the 1 or 2 episodes where he doesn't even know who he is yet, and yes, so it's kind of a slow lead into.
Right.
Back to Davros, though, I think he is one of the characters that was most successfully like updated, because he looked so cool. Like when he came back in like New Who, like the makeup and stuff was better, and like, I just find him to be like a very interesting and effective villain for the show.
No, I agree.
Interesting.
Yeah. Ashley's asking us if we have been on Cinema Bushido. We have not yet. I did a TV 3-way, and I might be back there sometime soon. And but we have not done Cinema Bushido.
I've just done fan art.
We gotta find our best action movie to do as a team. But yeah, it's I already talked to Tom at one point. Like, let's do it. We just gotta find. You know, it's curated by me, so can't just be. I like had one exception to that rule ever, and I let Ashley drag me into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1989. And
for those not familiar with the concept of the show, it's teams.
No, Cinema Bushido is just. I love action cinema. I love samurais. I love kung fu, and you know, to Ashley's point, it has kung fu and it has a katana, and so yeah. But we had a really great time with that particular episode. If you want to hear Ashley and myself talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but yeah, we'll find a perfect action movie to do it.
Awesome. Cool.
Alrighty. So number 2, Ashley. Speaking of her, she says or asks, which companion deserves a spinoff?
Okay, so opposite Jack, Ramona number 1 was played by this beautiful, beautiful woman named Mary Tam. And Mary Tam was way more Downton Abbey than Ramona 2. She was cool. She was just so awesome. She knew way more than the Doctor, actually. Like, she actually knew how to operate the TARDIS, and he had no idea. So there were all these really cool things with that. Now, she unfortunately had a little bit of the damsel in distress, but she was my favorite. She was my first TV crush. Love her.
Surprised no one said Tegan. This whole episode.
I know.
I just liked how the Doctor yelled at her to go through air rates.
Oh, she had a great name too. Her whole name, it was this one long word, but it was pretty much 3 names. But it was Ramona Dwara Talandar. She was awesome.
Nice.
Pretty.
Tom Zambino, I see you in the chat that you're getting out of here for the night. Thanks for stopping by, man. You have a good one.
Bye, Tom.
He's pushing for an Arnold Schwarzenegger themed OSP.
Nah.
Nah? We all know Last Action Hero is my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's all you would talk about.
It's my favorite.
All right. So Billy asked us, what is your favorite storyline from any series of Doctor Who?
All right. Well, in the Tom Baker timeline, there was this thing called the Key to Time, and it was 6 full, 6 4-part episodes that constituted 24 episodes, where it was 4 episodes leading up to where they find, like in a statue or in a human even, they have to zap them with this weird beam, and it turns it back into this piece of the Key of Time, and that Key of Time is like responsible for holding together the fabric of the universe. Pretty fucking awesome. Sorry.
You're fine. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's weird, like, for being so, like, not dated, but, like, so early in television and stuff like that, they went bonkers with some of their ideas, so you have to give them credit for that, for, like, Because Star Trek was very straightforward. We're gonna go to a planet. We're gonna help these people. We might meet some wacky characters along the way. But Doctor Who was like, there's antimatter and matter, and Piccolos cause explosions. That's pretty much what I learned from that. All right, so the last question we got is, what character would have made a great companion if they were given the chance?
Okay, so in one of the parts of the Stones of Time, anyway, Stones of Blood was a piece of this, and there were these creatures. They were called the Megara, and they were like, I'm going to cheat here, and I have a note because I need to read this. They were sometimes referred to as justice machines. The Megara were microcellular metallic biomachines. They could fly through the air. They communicated with each other using their own special language, and they believed that humanoids were inferior because they were not fully capable of knowing the truth. So I think if you took them, or at least one or two of them, and you kind of like modified them, like in Rogue One, where that super imperial badass Alan Tudyk, you got one of like those, they would be like the best companions. They'd be like K9 on steroids.
Nice.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's probably a smart thing to do from a storytelling point of view, but none of the robot companions that the Doctor picks up along the way are badass.
Right.
You don't get a full Cyberman. You get the head of a Cyberman.
Right. Yeah. Did you ever see Lex and how there was the robotic head that was in love with Zev?
No.
Anyway, yeah.
All right. Well, that were all 4 questions. Do you have anything you want to plug and let the people know about?
Well, you can find everything I do at screenmayhem.com, including my babies, Cinema Bushido, Action Cinema, and I have a Bruce Lee exploitation podcast I do with a badass dude named Michael Worth, and we talk about all those great movies. And TV 3-Way in particular, me and 2 other people, we go through TV shows. We choose a premiere episode, or we can even choose kind of a great episode, but we compete them on bingeability and which one wins. Kimber's on the current one that's out right now. You can listen to that. And yes, I've invited her this Sunday to do another one, so let's keep the ball rolling.
Great. And I remember you were explaining the concept, because I had never heard about these Bruce Lee exploitation films, and you blew my, like, I saw 3 Bruce Lee standing next to each other, and I was super confused, but that's crazy.
Oh no, it's great. It's great. There's so, a lot of them, just to be fair to it, like some people look down on them because Bruce is dead and people are exploiting Bruce, but most of the ones I've seen, they really just are trying to keep him alive. They're trying to keep his spirit alive, and I love Bruce. So watching them and watching, oh my gosh, like they just like they bring his nunchakus back out and they act like him. Oh, it's just so much fun.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say I had a really good time on TV 3-Way. I'm looking forward to doing that again. And if you guys haven't checked out the episode, the first one that I did with Crashing, Master of None, and Preacher, please do so. These guys are great. I thought that the end product came out really professional. Your co-host is charming and hilarious as well. And check out his show, you guys. It's really a good one.
I do have to ask you, though, because I just saw the trailer out of nowhere. I didn't even know it was coming out. What do you think of this new Bruce Lee movie coming out?
So if you're talking about the one, it was already released at like film festivals, and it's been redone to be new. It could be okay. The trouble with it is this is like really where they whitewash. Like Bruce Lee never had a white, young, Fast and the Furious looking best friend that was like kind of behind him the whole time going, yeah, kick his ass, Bruce. And they did that in this film, and it's just fucking annoying. Terribly annoying to everybody.
I mean, Hollywood could have cast Bruce Lee as a white guy. At least they're making some effort, I guess.
Oh, and the guy who plays Bruce, he is awesome. I mean, if you watch the trailer for that, his martial arts are excellent, and you could tell the story. It gives me butterflies, actually, but it's a shame that they had to put something in it that made it a little bit bad. But I haven't seen it yet, but I'm excited. I'm optimistic.
It looks interesting. I just I was a little worried that some of the fight cinematography might get a little like Hidden Tiger, Crouching Tiger.
See, you said it, Tom. That is one of my pet peeves. I do not want wire action. I want to see people punching each other. I want to see Atomic Blonde. If you haven't seen it yet,
Really? I was so worried about it because it looked like
no.
just Suicide Squad meets John Wick.
Every blow is felt, and it is
Oh,
unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
that's like one. I don't want to keep up too much time, but that's one of my favorite things. Like when Winter Soldier came out, and you could actually feel the weight of like the shield hitting the wall and stuff. Like when you can feel that impact, it just means so much more.
No, that was this for me. I mean, I walked out of there bruised and beaten, and you know.
I have to ask you one question on behalf of my brother. Do you like Tony Jaa?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He is sort of one of the new wave of guys who are punching and getting punched, and it's badass.
Knee punching.
Yeah.
He just wants his elephants, though.
Yeah, my brother likes that guy. My dad owns a martial arts school. It's kind of the family business, so I know a thing or two about.
You know the drill. They don't float on wires. They get hurt and they fall down and they get bruised and it sucks. And that's what you want to watch because that's what it's really about.
For sure. All right. Well, it was a pleasure as always, and thank you for calling in today. And we will see you soon.
Yes. Bye, guys.
I'll see you on Sunday.
Yes. Talk to you on Sunday.
Later.
All right. So checking out on the chat. Am I reading this right? Oh wait, that was Mac saying goodbye to Tom Zambino, not saying goodbye to me, because up next we have Mac. So we're gonna try to keep it going. Janine, I haven't seen in a while. I'm guessing she left.
Usually doesn't call in unless it's something that she's very.
So we have Mac, Yusef, Randall, TJ, and Bill.
I don't think Randall is calling in either.
Okay.
I'm not terribly sure, but I thought I saw something in the chat.
Well, if you're still here, let me know, because you might not even be here. And then I'm talking to nobody.
Can't handle the Randall.
Can't handle the Randall. And
So
I want to
are you
make that.
sending an invite to Mac
I am sending an invite to Mac right now as we speak.
from Kim's Classics, right?
Kim'sClassics@gmail.
If I was Mac, I would make that my email address just to troll. And sorry we got a little off topic there, but Matthew Whitaker's just an interesting guy.
Yeah, he's fun to talk to. Mac, can you throw your email in there? I'm just having a hard time remembering it exactly. I know you're a fan of the Buccaneers, but I don't remember the year and all like that. So if you could message me. You may be wondering, how many hours of sleep did you get today, Tom? Not many.
Yeah, you only slept till 3 p.m.
Yeah, but I didn't fall asleep till 11. I was working on one more episode all morning. And it's true because I actually have the video on the page. Seriously, if you guys haven't checked that out, Susan Layton was a delight to, I didn't talk to her, which is weird watching a show that doesn't have me on it on my channel, but it makes my ego like go down a little bit.
Also, is Mormo looking for guests? If anyone has any interest,
Please.
let us know.
Mormo, here's the thing that Mormo likes to talk about. Mormo likes to talk about horror movies. Mormo likes to talk about going to the movies.
Music.
Mormo likes to talk about music, specifically like concerts and your local scene. He's super curious about what you're interested in doing locally. How do you make some money on the side? Like Kimber makes soap and crochets and stuff. He's
DIY
curious.
ethics.
Exactly. So it's an interesting show, and we are looking for guests.
And he's just a delight to talk to. If any of you guys haven't talked to Mormo much, reach out to Mormo. He's just a super nice, wonderful guy.
Yep, at Mormozine. He'll pretty much talk to you about whatever. Just tell him he loves trauma. That's another thing. If you're into trauma movies like Toxic Avenger and Thanksgiving.
He likes fire and smoking cigarettes.
He likes fire walk with Mormo.
And
Or sit with Mormo.
he's a fan of Lynch, but he hasn't seen any Twin Peaks.
He has not.
He's from Blab,
Corey,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I met Mormo playing Flux or some game. I can't remember exactly what game it was.
With Blab?
On Blab. Like he was the most random person I just ran into, and he's one of our best supporters. Hey Mac, how's it going?
It's going. Just to let everybody know, there is no controversy. It is Bucks Classics. I don't know what they had Cord talking about. There is no controversy.
You're the one making it weird.
I'm not making it weird. It's them two. They want to take over my show that I created with my blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, I know. They just contacted me for a thumbnail.
I'm gonna get those two. But yeah.
Hey, well, we're gonna have to go through these questions relatively quickly. Nolan asked, "Who or what is the best Doctor Who monster or villain?"
Like I said, I'm not in. I just started watching Doctor Who this weekend, preparing for this show. I have to go with the Weeping Angels. They just appear out of nowhere. Once you blink, if you blink, they'll come up on you and get you. It's just it got to be done for me.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier with the Cybermen, they kind of look silly, but the moment they reveal what they truly are, like it's terrifying.
Right.
And they do a good job with that.
Right.
Alrighty. Ashley asked us, which companion deserves a spinoff?
This is difficult. I really have to go with Rose. I really think she deserves it because Rose, to me, has an interesting background. She may not be the smartest of the bunch of the companions, but at the same token, I just want to see more Rose. I just want to see what she can. She learns as she goes along. I would love to see Rose.
And is Rose the current companion you're dealing with right now?
Well, actually, I've been watching with Corey. We have been spinning around with Rose. There's in Rose. I've been dealing with another one. Like I said, it's just
Okay.
I watch so many episodes.
I don't know what has been revealed to you and what hasn't been revealed to you yet. The 50th anniversary. It's good. You should watch that one.
All right,
and it kind of takes place outside. It takes place kind of outside of the timeline, so it shouldn't hurt anything.
Okay.
The Day of the Doctor, is that the 50th anniversary?
I believe so, yeah.
Let's see. Billy asks us, what is your favorite storyline so far that you've seen on Doctor Who?
I have to go with Oxygen. I like it because it shows the Doctor going through a certain situation in space. He sacrifices his sight. He sacrifices not only his life, but sacrifices almost his life, but his sight for his companion. And I like the fact that he's like playing them in the end, like, hey, it's all a game in the end. It's all this in the end, but it shows so much of how smart the Doctor is, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, this is kind of like a H3H3 meme, but everyone else is playing checkers, but the Doctor's playing chess.
Mm-hmm. And I like that episode.
Alrighty, and to finish things up, what character would have made a great companion if given the chance?
I gotta go with for that question. I'm gonna go. I'm surprised nobody picked this person. I'm going with Gwen from episode 3, season 1. Gwyneth. I feel like Gwyneth had a relationship with the first Doctor. It was interesting because she had that dynamic, and I felt like spoiler, she dies, but I did like that dynamic between the first Doctor and her. I felt like, even though I like Rose and I love Rose, I feel like if we were to get her probably later on or a different timeline or something like that, it would be a nice thing to see Gwyneth come back.
I'm trying to remember Gwyneth. Is that the
one who can the one that sacrifices her life for to save him? And was it Charles Dickens?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do you know who else would have been good? The girl in the fireplace.
Yes. I thought that was a setup for a companion. I expected like him to go back to her at some point, but
yeah, you should watch the girl in the fireplace episode if you haven't seen that.
Corey actually tried to get me to watch that. We just couldn't pop it up.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, well, that's all 4 questions. Thanks for being patient and dealing with all the callers ahead of you. What do you got to plug?
Well, obviously, Books Classics. I have Kimber on. I'm gonna have you on, Tom. They're actually talking about that. It's not Kim Classics.
He's not
Also doing I'm also redoing my show Let's Make It Better next week, and I'm also doing Let's Remake It with Corey and the Tech Podcast. Also on Let's Remake It, anybody can join. I'm doing a show to talk about movies and remaking the film and just letting people have fun remaking films. Pick your own films and how they would do it.
Well, I know how much of a fan you are of recasting people from our American Gods conversations.
Oh yes, I love it.
And how can they contact you on Twitter if they want to see what's up?
It's at Tampa Buckfan 88.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mac. You're always a delight to talk to, and I'm sure I'll see you again throughout the week.
You will.
All right, man. Have a great night.
See ya.
So
All right.
who do we got left?
I think Yosef is next, or Yusuf. So I will just need his. There he is.
Is he still around?
Oh, are you there? Oh wait.
Yeah.
Smiley face. That means he's ready to go. I want anything. The only dating advice I ever gave Craig, my stepbrother, was send smiley faces. That's the
Oh, it's being weird. What's your email? Let us know in the chat.
Or if you don't feel comfortable sharing your email in the chat, you could always DM
Direct message
Kimber.
me, yeah.
But Dub went home, so we don't have any more trolls in the chat.
You gotta pay the troll too.
He's our troll. He's one of us to the H3H3.
Yeah.
What was our life before Blab?
There you go.
Wow, it's exactly what you would expect it to be. I don't know why it didn't come up.
No plot twist here.
Excuse me. Me.
So if there happens to be anybody else who is still in the chat who we have not had call in who wants to, then let us know, and we'll make sure to get you in.
This is a trust simplicity. Yeah, I saw Randall was saying he was staying up. I didn't know if that meant just to watch or to be involved. We love that guy, so just knowing that he's in our lives is okay. All right, Corey. Yeah. If you don't cut it out about the Fraggles, we're gonna have a serious.
He's gonna Fraggle rock your world. Watch out.
I'll name it as a T-shirt.
I'm getting Kim's Classics as a T-shirt.
Also, we were shopping around an idea. We announced the Doctor Who show. We're also shopping around another idea, and this is only for you dedicated viewers who have made it this far, because it is 2 hours and 30 minutes into the show, and we love you all for sticking around. But think about doing a album review show with Corey and me and Kimber. Although she's doing her own show, so maybe I'm gonna kick her out. I don't know.
I don't want to be on though. I got albums.
You're allowed to be on. Anyway, well, we're thinking about picking an album and going over it, or depending on the format of the show, playing with some other ideas. I don't know, but what do you guys think about a music-based show? We know Mormon touches on music, but that's more of like the scene and performances more than the actual structure of an album or the cat ruining conversation I'm trying to have. You're the worst, Mavis.
She's the best.
She's also the best. Roth knows.
Okay, Randall is still here. So we'll have Randall on to close out the night.
Oh, Yusuf says I'm able to join. That's weird.
It's never done that before.
That's never happened. It usually just doesn't show up.
You want to try again?
Yeah, I'm going to send you one more link. Because you've called him before, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was getting spoiled. We haven't had
Oh, there he
problems
is.
in a minute. Oh, there we go. Hey.
How's it going?
Yo.
Welcome back.
So are you a big fan of Doctor Who?
Yes, I am. I weirdly stumbled upon the revival back in 2000. I had a very few channels on my TV, and I was just scrolling through the channels, and I just saw. I think it was the first episode I ever saw was just the TARDIS. Sorry, the Dalek fighting the new Doctor, and I was just blown away by the stupidity of it, but at the same time, how transfixed I was with it. Like, I think it was the voice design of them that it was just like exterminate, and I was like, yeah, I'm here. You got me.
Nice.
Well, speaking of the Daleks, who do you think is the best Doctor Who villain or monster?
So that's kind of hard to choose because since the Cybermen, the Dalek, and the Weeping Angels are so embedded in the series, like they're just ingrained throughout the whole Doctors. So that's why I chose the Silence, because they were able to break through the ranks and establish themselves as a legit contender against the Doctor, and especially since they're so hard to fight, because as soon as you look away from them, you immediately forget them. So what I liked about them is that almost an entire season was dedicated to their arc. Like they were almost behind the scenes throughout the whole thing, which was kind of frightening because it was the enemy that was always there, but they didn't know it was there because they just couldn't remember.
Yeah, and we found out that they were going to be a major threat to the Doctor before we even knew what they were.
Yeah.
Because he's like, identify the Silence, and he's like, we don't know. They're quiet about it. They don't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I have a shirt that I wanted to wear tonight, but I couldn't find it. But it's a Weeping Angel's body, but it has the Silence's face, and nothing is a scarier thought than that. It
Yeah.
will haunt your dreams.
What I love about the Weeping Angels is they're just, it's kind of the same thing but in reverse of the Silence. So the Silence, you only see them when you're looking at them, and the Weeping Aliens, you can only see them when you're not looking at them. So their true faces come up when you're looking away. They're great designs, even though when you just show that to somebody who hasn't seen the series at all, they're gonna tell you like, why the hell do you think this is good? You just gotta trust it. Just watch it. It's good.
Two things that I love about the Angels in particular is one, it takes something that we see in normal life, see things similar to often, you know, and it makes it scary. Because anytime you're like, we have a lot of graveyards in town and stuff around here too, but anytime you're like near a graveyard or like a creepy old house that has like an angel statue, it's scary. Like it's unsettling just because what the show has done with it. And two, I love that they don't kill you, they send you back in time to a random point.
Yes.
Because it's almost like a slow and horrible death in its own way. You're never going to see your family again. You are truly dead to everyone you've ever known. And you have no idea where you are, you know? And in some situations, that could be really bad, depending on who you are and where you go.
That's a great point, actually.
Number 3, Angel Bob is one of the creepiest things they've ever done on that show. Awesome.
That's true.
In the Jorah.
The Jorah episode. There you go, Morgan. You got your little shout out. All right, so number 2, which companion deserves a spinoff?
So since everybody has picked everybody, I don't know if somebody has picked Rory. The reason why I like his possibility of a spinoff is since he's technically a robot or a cyborg. I don't remember what's the technicality of him. But
I think that got fixed.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? That got fixed.
Yeah.
It got retconned, but you can go back to just watching the whole lifespan of him, just watching over her. Like they could go everywhere. They could go anywhere because he literally just lived throughout eternity just watching over the the box. So you can
I would love
really
to see the story they tell of him dragging the box out of the fire.
yeah. So you have
And him in that armor is the best thing in the world. The demon run where he's like, should I repeat the question as Cybermen ships are blowing out behind him and he's in the Centurion armor? He's such a badass.
yeah, I agree, and he's a good actor. So I think obviously everybody mentioned a lot of companions that are deserving, but I think Rory has a lore already established that would be easy for them to create an entire series around him.
For sure. Yeah, he's my favorite companion, so I'm not going to disagree with you on that one.
That's awesome.
All right. Billy asks, what is your favorite storyline?
So, again, keeping with the Matt Smith universe, is the good man that went to war. I think it's called the episode. That's when they reveal who River is, and I just like the entire arc because they've teased you throughout the entire series, like, who are you? And Doctor is so transfixed on knowing where he met her and why does he know her. And when she just tells Amy, I think is her name is Amy Pond, who she is, and her face just like her and Rory, just pure happiness of knowing that despite that they lost their child, technically they're still with her, and she's a wonderful, crazy maniac. So that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I was right there with you too. I know you were at a Harry Potter trivia earlier, so you missed the beginning, but we had pretty similar answers so far, so you have good taste.
Oh yeah, that's good.
All right, let's see if we get 4 out of 4. What character would have made a great guest companion if given the chance? Or not, a great companion if given the chance?
Like a full companion, this has already been chosen, but he already had his own. It's kind of cheating because I know he would work because he already got his own spinoff. But Captain Jack, I think he's called, from Torchwood, just because he wouldn't be impressed by the Doctor since he knows time's traveling. Like, he would be a legit right-hand man for him. Like, any situation where he already had his moments. Like, he already helped the Doctor and he had good episodes. But every time he left, I always wanted him to come back. Like, he was such a good cornerstone for David Tennant.
Yes.
That I just wanted him to stay. So I would pick him.
Oh, yeah. And talk about a character who we already like, but then because, like, he's not considered a main character at all, and to have such a huge event happen to him as to come back from the dead.
Yeah.
Like, up to that, like, we liked him, but he was nothing special, and then we're like, oh, he's immortal.
Yeah.
Like, that changes the field a bit. But I think I would agree. I would want to see less stuff on Earth, which is what Torchwood was.
Yeah.
I would want to see him kirking about the universe, kind of.
Yeah, I see him as kind of like a Malcolm Reynolds type character.
A sexy Malcolm Reynolds.
What did you
Not
pick?
that Malcolm Reynolds isn't sexy, though. Come on.
So
what did you pick?
Yeah.
I picked Danny Pink. If you know him, if you remember him. I thought he would have been really good.
That's good.
I remember, I know I said Wilf was the obvious answer I said, but who did I pick? I can't remember. I've mentioned so many throughout the episode.
All right. So on
Alfonso.
that, did you have anything you're working on that you want to plug, or you want to let everyone know where they can find you?
Yeah, my whyIlovemovies.com blogs. I post classic reviews on Tuesdays. Tomorrow is Breakfast at Tiffany's. Do Cold Thursdays, So Bad They're Good Fridays, and any new movie that I watch, I try to do also a review. You can follow me on Twitter at Yusef Conesa, or on Facebook, and just stumbling around the internet.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that we got to have you on, and we hope to see you again soon.
All right. Take care, guys.
Have a good night. All right, so just Randall? Is that what we're doing? Oh, Eric Gossemacher's here. Eric, do you have anything to say about Doctor Who? Because we're about to wrap up the show, but you let me come in on the tail end of your show.
It's true.
Which, by the way, if you haven't been watching Eric Gossemacher is Just Whelmed. It's a Young Justice recap show. He tackles 4 episodes. One of his episodes, he recaps 4. And he is joined by guests if they aren't sleeping. I was on the last one, and if you're curious about it, it's actually on our guest spot page, because anything that has our faces in it goes on that playlist.
Cool. You want to send Randall an invite?
Sure.
You forgot.
No, I was talking.
Because Randall is famous for interrupting and totally would have been disruptive on the.
He is.
He is
He
not.
is the most inconsiderate
Randall
guy.
is the chillest person I've
I love
literally ever met. I could hang out with Randall all the time.
Randall's the next one who we have to have come up and visit us.
Yeah, Randall is welcome anytime. Just come over.
Whenever he gets time off from work, they'll never let him leave.
Yeah, he is a busy guy. He's in high demand.
He's good at what he
Do
does.
you blame him?
And what he does is good, apparently. It's real estate. What he does, he's doing what he does.
He's
What
good
he
at
does
what
is
he
real
does,
estate.
and what he does is real estate. Waiting on Randall. Oh, Eric's been listening since Jack was on, he says.
Oh, well, he hasn't been active in the chat. On activity.
Yes, Corey is saying in the chat that the House on Haunted Hill episode of Kim's Classics that I did recently is available to watch.
That is also
true.
on the playlist.
That is on the playlist, and it's also on my Twitter page. Where's Randall? I feel so like
He probably just passed out.
I'm just sitting here.
Or he didn't like that real estate comment I made. I'll send him another one. Randall, you in there, buddy? You in there?
I'm gonna send him another one.
You in the internet?
Oh, he's coming, he says. His computer is being slow.
I'm gonna help Randall. Come on.
Are you trying to pull?
He's coming through a series of tubes.
He's traveling through all of space and time.
It's like Futurama. It's like Rick and Morty. Oh, jeez. Oh, Pickle Rick. A Rickle? A Rickle in time.
So earlier I moved my foot and it shuffled stuff by the microphone and the camera went back to me and I made this face that I always make when that happens and I was like, Tom needs to make a compilation of just every time I've done that.
Yeah, do you know how many videos that I have to comb through?
Randall, you gotta help me out here, man. And now Tom's back.
I didn't even do anything. I was just stretching my legs. They're not stretched yet.
Stretch for you. Just until Randall comes back.
So, welcome to Thompson's on the Couch. It's like the opposite of an ASMR. I sit far away from a mic.
Waiting for Randall edition.
The Waiting for Randall edition. And I talk so you can barely hear me. And I hardly move. It's very entertaining. It's like those live kitten channels they have on YouTube, but every time you go, they're sleeping. It's the most annoying thing. It's very entertaining. It's like those live. Oh no! I hear my own voice and I hate it.
That should be better. Should be fixed now. Sorry about that.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? Long time no see. How you been?
I've been all right. Just tired. Working a lot as usual.
I hear you. I ran
But
into
that's-
my boss at the store today, and I'm like, I might start taking more time off. And he's like, okay. So, I'm at that point where I'm just like, I need that money, but I need sleep too.
Yeah, so recently my boss kind of either quit or got fired, but I'm not really sure what happened. So now we're kind of being managed from Virginia. So I don't really
It's
know
like
what.
that episode of The Office where they're like being like managed outside of Scranton.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know nothing about your business, so I don't know what to compare it to.
I just package loans and send them to banks.
Do they have special peanuts for those?
No.
Because like you're packaging them. Sorry, it's late in the night.
all
You're
digital.
not getting my grade A material.
Here, you want to switch?
Yeah, I'm gonna pitch you the question. Kimber's gonna come here and listen to you. What is the best monster or villain?
Well, see, I know everyone's pretty much said everything at this point. I personally enjoy the Daleks the most, but like it started seeing it, like the Weeping Angels are the coolest, I think, because they're just creepy. Just the thought of like statues in general, like you always have that feeling like in general like horror situations or like nighttime, you're always thinking something's moving behind you. You never know. You turn around, it's nothing's there. It's not moving, and then you might turn back. It changes. It's just creepy. I don't know. Never really liked them too much. They were probably the scariest things next to the silence in the series.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. And I was saying, like, the familiarity of the way that they look as well adds an extra creepy factor.
Like what it did for clowns.
Yeah,
like what it
right.
did for angel statues.
So, Ashley asked us, which companion do you think deserves a spinoff?
I would probably go with Rory. I always thought Rory got the short stick in every situation in terms of the series. I like how his story ends up, but I think that he could benefit from having more time in the series and like seeing what he's done in Legends of Tomorrow. It's like similar, like just traveling through time and space and doing all that types of crazy stuff. Like it just seems like it would have been perfect for him to do a spinoff in the Doctor Who world as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Tom compared him to, like, Captain Jack on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Nice, yeah. I love Rory. No
Captain
shortness.
Jackson, Legends of Tomorrow as well.
Yeah, there you go. So Billy asked us, what's your favorite storyline from Doctor Who?
I'm probably gonna go with the Bad Wolf storyline. Like Tennant is definitely my favorite Doctor, and that whole storyline I thought was the most concise of any throughout the series. Like it just was pieced together on like the best out of all of them, and just the little threads that they threw in throughout episodes that like if like longtime fans would pay attention to, but some people might not have noticed if you didn't really know what was going on like throughout. So I don't know. I found it interesting. I like Bad Wolf.
Yeah, and you're kind of like, is Rose Tyler going Dark Phoenix up in this bitch?
Yeah, pretty much. That's very similar type of storyline. But yeah, I think that it works the best within the Doctor Who like universe, that like that type of craziness, breaking dimensions.
Yeah, and Tom was talking, like, we like all the little placements of, like, Bad Wolf and graffiti and stuff all
German.
throughout, yeah, in different languages, because it was in Welsh, too. That was a great storyline and classic to any Doctor Who fan, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm surprised that's the first time somebody's really said that answer, like, directly as their answer for this one. Okay, only one more for you tonight, and that's what character would have made a great companion if given the chance?
Character that made a great companion. I really, I really did like the old timey like three, like the reptilian and her lover and everything. Like I loved like how quirky their whole storyline is, especially with Capaldi. Like they just played off of each other really well, and it made for like a lighthearted, like fun Doctor Who adventures where everything wasn't always so serious and so dark, but it was still fun and pressing.
Dare I say it was very tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, they seem to be the fan favorites tonight, Jenny, Vastra, and
Oh, yeah.
Strax, so that's awesome.
Well, I like how you said it earlier. Like, not only is it a good relationship, but it's interspecies. So it's like, how are you even gonna complain? Like,
Yeah.
what issues are you gonna, without sounding like a crazy person? These lizard women taking over the world.
Nice. Well, that's all of them for tonight. Are you working on anything that you want to plug, or do you want to let people know where they can get a hold of you?
No, I'm not really doing much of anything these days, other than working. Unfortunately, I'm hoping to remedy that very soon, and get out of this job and move on to better things. So I'll have free up some time maybe to do more things. But you can come yell at me on Twitter. You can usually find me at Randall Sands.
Nice. And you'll come visit us sometime when you free up your time?
Hopefully, maybe in October I will definitely be up in the New York City area. I might be coming up there for a week, visit family. So I might be able to see if I can work something out then.
Yeah, do a detour. My birthday's in October. That sounds like a blast.
And people are also
I
thinking
know
about,
Delisha was talking about maybe coming around for October too, so maybe we can line that up.
I think it'll be the week of October 26th for my mom's birthday.
That's my birthday. That's my birthday.
Yeah.
Same birthday.
Yeah, so I'll be up there for that week.
Nice.
That's awesome. Real quick, Randall. Update. I finished Pokemon Fusion.
Did you? How did that go?
Alright, so I got to the Safari Zone. And that was a hassle, and I ended up getting more hunters in the Safari Zone than anything.
Interesting.
So I spent like 3 hours in there, and I made a whole roster of like ghost type. Like I have a ghost Snorlax, a hunter Snorlax, hunter Scyther, hunter whatever, and Rhyhorn. That's what it was. And I go and I beat the Fuchsia City Gym, and it's like, this is the end of the demo, and I'm like, what? No.
What about the rest of the game? The Elite Four.
Yeah, no, and that was the worst. Is the dragon trainer shows up right before then, like, you have to go help us get the Master Ball. See you later, and it's like, you won't see him later.
It's the worst.
Nice.
No Mewtwo for that game.
Exactly. I could have used this Master Ball this whole time. Anyway.
All right, buddy. Well, always great talking to you, man. You know that we love
Always
you.
a pleasure.
And hopefully, we'll see you soon.
Yes, hopefully. I hope you guys have a good night.
All right, man. Later.
Bye.
I'm gonna watch Get Out soon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, everyone, I think that's the episode, and we made it on time. So, are we getting spammers in here?
We got
Hold
a
on.
spammer, yeah.
Was it good? Oh my God, Ashley, I will make Tom Sits on the Couch an everyday show. Episode 2. Rick and Morty was so good.
We just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It was a really good one. Another thank you. I know she's not here right now, but to Roth Cornett for stopping by. That was awesome of her to take the time and talk about Doctor Who, which we're all passionate about. So, anything else you need to say?
Check out outshapechannel.com. That's where you'll find the links for upcoming live episodes, as well as a catalog of the other stuff we've been doing.
Look out for Spacetime Rewind with me and Nolan Dean coming out soon.
And more news on some other content possibly down the pipeline. Also, trying to track down Jason. I want to talk to him for a bit, and I want people to listen to our conversation. So, Jason, if you're watching this, I'm calling you out. Text me or something. I don't know.
They're going on a cruise tomorrow.
You don't go on a cruise. Text me. Have fun on your cruise, Jason. Anyway, and Candace. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tom. You can tweet at me at Shape Channel at Shape Panel.
You can tweet at me at Kimberbatch_OSP. And I think that's all she wrote, guys.
We had a spammer about what they wanted us to watch vids about their ankle. What?
All right, so we will see you guys later.
Bye. I'm